Yeah, I'm good.
Come on, you guys out there. Hey, sure. The wages of blessing never living a lie. So we keep our meditation in the eye. We weather the storm and put up a fight, 'cause we can do anything. Should you feel like giving up, let the strength of your ancestors fill your cup. The power of Jah preserves high and guides in all that good. So evil that made me harm, can't go back where they came from. No demonic words perform shall prosper, yeah. Until the older and the science one come, 'cause them can't squeeze me lion bar. No demonic words perform shall prosper. Come on, you guys out there. Hey, sure. The wages of blessing never living a lie. So we keep our meditation in the eye. We weather the storm and put up a fight, 'cause we can do anything. Should you feel like giving up, let the strength of your ancestors fill your cup. The power of Jah preserves high and guides in all that good. So evil that made me harm, can't go back where they came from. No demonic words perform shall prosper, yeah. Until the older and the science one come, 'cause them can't squeeze me lion bar. No demonic words perform shall prosper. Come on, you guys out there. Hey, sure. The wages of blessing never living a lie. So we keep our meditation in the eye. We weather the storm and put up a fight, 'cause we can do anything. Should you feel like giving up, let the strength of your ancestors fill your cup. The power of Jah preserves high and guides in all that good. So evil that made me harm, can't go back where they came from. No demonic words perform shall prosper, yeah. Until the older and the science one come, 'cause them can't squeeze me lion bar. No demonic words perform shall prosper.
Hello, welcome. Happy Friday. Happy Friday to those in television land. Happy Friday to all our silent supporters. Happy Friday to everyone in the chat. Hope everyone had a wonderful and productive week as usual, and looking forward to a restful weekend. Thank you guys so much for tuning in. Really appreciate each and everyone's continued support. Remember, guys, when you come in, thumbs up the live, share us out if you can. And if you're new to the channel, please show us some support by subscribing. That will be greatly appreciated. So tonight's topic is Ruel Reid, corruption overload. And with your host, Anne-Marie and Baron, as usual. Let me just go ahead and welcome those in the chat. HVAC, Don Mel, Dorothy McCoy, Truck Life, Hurricane Hattie, Larry Beckford, Cynthia B, welcome channel member, Ricardo looking.
God is here.
Leonie Denton, Monica Hall, editing with the siblings, Sweet Pea, Vian Holiness, Rennie Swaby, welcome. And guys, as usual, I will welcome you as you come in. If I lose control of the chat, then I'll do an umbrella welcome. Leonard Reid, welcome. Stay tight, welcome. Happy Friday. Blendon, welcome. Good evening. On this one. Without any delay, I'll hand over to Baron so I can do some housekeeping. Yes, Jean, royalty, I'm here. Welcome.
All right. Thank you, Honey, for that precursor there, as usual, right? Greeting all the persons who needs to be greeted. But I want to say also a big thanks to all the subscribers and all the persons who are following us from day one up until now. I want to say a big thanks to you. Now tonight, we are going to speak as it relates to the situation that unfold with the JPS, and we are going to get into the intricacies of that. Right? We have seen some what we call political strategy being played out, right? And where we have likes like Daryl Vaz who try to put a spin on the situation. Now, the fact of the matter, people, is that Jamaica, many Jamaicans, right, were feeling the pressure as it relates to the high energy cost of JPS and what is outrightly what we call padding of bills, right? Because it is what it is, that JPS padding the bills on our customers, and we are going to prove that tonight based on research and investigation, right? This is a serious situation that hinders us from economic growth. And we are going to discuss that in the length and breadth, right? To have a holistic understanding that we need to move from fossil to renewable energy, right? Because what is happening with the JPS and the monopoly that JPS has, right? It is now suppressing our people. Many of our people are suffering as it relates to the high energy costs. And we have to make sure that we hold the government accountable. Remember last week I spoke about donations, right? Political donations as it relates to what entity are funding the campaign, the political campaign. And I researched a particular document, and I want to ask the question as it relates to how much JPS fund, right, whatever political party. And we are seeing as a result of not having transparency of persons who are funding the political party and where policies, right, are being made in terms of their benefit, right? And so then we have to highlight that as it relates to who are funding, right, the campaigns and how much, right, that they are funding and what are the benefits that they are anticipating. Because we are seeing that most of the policies that being utilized, not being utilized to benefit the masses, but to benefit the elites, right? And the few people in the bubbles, right? We call capitalism, right? Cronyism, right? That being making the benefit, and the masses who voting for the specific party, whether GLP or PNP, they are not being benefited, right? And so we have a very serious issue with that, and that's one of the reasons why we are going to get into the length and breadth of the JPS saga. Let me just give the direction in terms of where we want to go tonight. We are speaking about renewable energy, right? And we want to make sure that, of course, that we need a diversification as it relates to renewable energy. And for Jamaicans by birth, right, becomes owners, right, in terms of that, right? We are not supposed to go down the road where we are trying to make JPS, right, as it relates to 80% of what the individuals, the external interest owns, right? The money is not being utilized in Jamaica. So I want people to understand that majority of the money that being generated by JPS is not being utilized or circulating in the economy to benefit Jamaican people. So we are going to deal with that tonight, right? And we are defending that we need to transform from fossil to renewable energy, and we are going to make that transformation, right? We want that to be on the ballot. Now, people, I also need to give you some information as it relates to general election, right? From the grapevine. From the grapevine, the general election is going to be in December. I am not going to give the particular date, but coming from the grapevine. So let me say this for people who need to be right ready and prepared for general election. Please do the necessaries so that we can ready to make an informed decision and vote PNP. Right? I am not going to act as if, right? I am not saying that. We are manly eyes. Right? And so then we are telling the voters to vote PNP. No doubt about that. Without any delay, we want to get into the situation where JPS is concerned. Because as we speak, right, where JPS, prior to burial, right, that they gave information that they are ready, right, they are well geared, right, to deal with the burial aftermath. And as we speak today, right, not all persons, right, getting back their energy. A lot of people, right, are facing the suffering. Time comes, as what editing with the sibling has been said. Without any delay, let us get into the information because we're going to use tonight to send a message to JPS. And for Darrell Vast to be coming out with his trickery, acting as if he is defending the people's interests and, you know, showing JPS under the bus, right? Now, Darrell Vast, let me say this to you. That political trickery is not working, right? The reason why you are doing that is to the fact that the people realize and catch JPS red-handed, right, padding their bills. That is a serious issue, right? That is a serious issue. So we are going to deal with that, right, and explain it to the people. Let us, without any delay, let us get into 300. Okay. So the information that I want to, before we play that on it, I want to explain this to the people before I introduce the clip. Mm-hmm. So let me say this to the people. What I am going to play, right? We are going to highlight, right, how the parties being funded, right? How the parties being funded and who are funding these parties so that they can get, right, policies passed in their behalf. So we are going to show you that even the Integrity Commission, right, have a problem with this situation as it relates to persons who are funding the political campaign. So let us get into it. Lift up this document. Let me get into this document and highlight some of the problem here, and then get into JPS. People wonder why Byron is getting into the donation. We want to know how much JPS donated to the political party. So let us get through the scrubbers. We are not going to, since I've been through this document, prior to bring it on, I just want to get to the important points, right? To show you where I'm going with this document here, right? So let me just, I want to get to the major concern of this document. Okay. Let us begin from here, right? The Jamaica Manufacturers and Exporters Association and the National Integrity Action, as I was saying, the National Integrity Action are insisting that the government should urgently consider further changes to the law to bring greater transparency to the financing of Jamaica's elections. Now, this is what we are talking about. According to the JMA President, John Mahfood, there should be no privacy because the government makes rules for the people, and anything that can interfere with how they make those rules, including donations and so on, should be public. Remember, we talk about, we see some donations get into Nigel Clark charity during the campaign, the election period, right? Governments are influenced greatly by a number of factors, including donations from companies that do business with the government, that are interested in doing business with the government. Added Mahfood, the CEO of Jamaica Teas Limited, who said his company does not make political donations. He also dismissed the political party's view that disclosure of contributors could turn off potential donors, saying financiers would only fear disclosure if they are doing it for reasons that are not bona fide. We need to know the donors who are donating money to the political campaign because we want to be transparent. Let us get to the next paragraph. Mahfood stated, all companies in Jamaica make public donation, all of the big public companies, and they make millions of dollars of donations. It should be public, and their board of directors should make it public. And the fact that they don't, I think, is an indictment on Jamaican private sector. And that is clear. I think that in terms of transparency, we want to know who are funding, right, the political parties and who are looking favor. And so then when we see certain policies are passing in the parliament, we know that those policies are passing in the benefit of those donors because they donated to the campaign. We call that political kickback. Okay, let us move on. Pointing to the almost 2 decades process to get the campaign finance law, Professor Trevor Monroe, the principal director of the anti-corruption lobby, NIA, said, the wait should not be as long to plug loopholes. Monroe said the ECJ needs to publish the final disclosure report of the political parties, including which recipients of public contracts above 500,000 exercise their rights to contribute to registered political parties, and which individuals are entities contributed above $1 million. Credible allegations concerning the diversion of public funds to political cronies by way of directorship and public bodies, breach of procurement regulations, and questionable grants of permit make more urgent issues relating to campaign finance kickback. And that's what we have said. Remember, people, that we play Nigel Clark situation charity, and we have seen where X amount of money going into Nigel Clark charity when it comes to the eve of an election. And as this is saying that we don't want that these persons who are funding the political parties, they are the ones who are getting the contracts. And as a result of them funding the political parties, they are getting all of the contracts. That is political kickback. We don't want that. We want transparency. Now, the current law says during campaign periods, parties and candidates are restricted from knowingly accepting funds from, among others, foreign government, public bodies, illegal entities, anonymous contributions, and intermediaries. Monroe said the ban on impermissible donors, persons who are not permitted to donate. Let us go into it. Monroe said the ban on impermissible donors needs to extend every year to create transparency, because you can't have jobs barren donating to political parties, right? And where they are going to breach procurement rules, breach building codes, and breach all of that. We don't want that, because you have job done. You understand? Put funding to political parties. We don't want that. We want transparency and good governance, we say. The public must know who pays the piper. Of course, the public must know who pays the piper. And not just during the reporting period or the campaign period, he said, noting that the law should also oblige the ECJ to receive quarterly and publish annual reports and contributions above a certain sum received by parties and candidates, as well as sources of such contributions. Let us take that away and let us talk to the people for a better understanding in terms of the document that we are discussing. What we are saying, my viewers, right, and listeners, we are saying in terms to avoid corruption, persons who are donating to political parties, right, they need to be published as it relates to how much money that they are donating to political parties. Because we want to know that if they are, donating X, are they looking for favors? Are they looking for the government to pass policies to benefit them? And we have seen a lot of that being done. Persons who have funded political parties are also getting government contracts. We need to stop that, right? We need to have transparency, right? And have a cap in terms of the amount that can be funded to any one political candidate. Or, you understand, because there is a cap in terms of how much can be funded to one political candidate, which is $1 million, right? And up to $35 million, you understand, can fund it to the political party, right? So when we have the reason why am I touching this? Let me explain why am I touching this. Because we are getting into JPS and the bangarang that is going on with JPS manipulating our people for years. And so then we are going to get into the belly tonight to have a full understanding, people, why it is important to get into JPS. Let me speak this, right? JPS, as it relates to the high cost of energy bill, is stopping Jamaica progress, economic progress, right? For Jamaica to gain upward mobility, JPS is stopping that. JPS is blocking that, right? Because the high energy cost is preventing us, right, to manufacturing products, you understand, so that we don't have the high overheads to pay as it relates to energy costs. So we need to understand the intricacies of what we are doing tonight and understand where Mark Golding stands with this policy, right? We know that Andrew Holness is a trickster. Tonight we are going to prove it, right? Andrew Holness is not trying to win us off the grid. Andrew Holness is trying to make us stay onto the grid to appease who? To appease external forces, right? The amount of money that JPS is making. So I want to make people understand where I'm going with this tonight. The amount of money that JPS is making, that money is not circulating in the Jamaican economic space. And so then we are not benefiting, we are being suppressing. Just imagine, people. Just imagine that post Hurricane Barry, JPS, in spite of the trauma that the Jamaican people are going through, particularly area in St. Elizabeth, right, who have gotten maximum damage. People are not able to freeze, right, their products, their meats. Their meat have been spoiled, affecting so many small businesses, right? In spite of that, JPS came out, right, and padding the bills and the Jamaican people under the Andrew Holness government. So when we see Darrell Vaz come out, Darrell Vaz, you know about come out. You know about come out and go on like you defend the people, you know. You are coming out because the Jamaican people thought JPS redundant, padding the bill. Lawland said the more money JPS makes, it tax revenue for the government. Thank you, Lawland. That's why we have these educated people over here on this channel. You understand, when Lawland can, you understand, deduce what is happening, right? And what Lawland said, Lawland is 100% right. So the government have no interest when they hear Darrell Vaz coming out, but tonight we are going to burst his bubbles. The reason why Darrell Vaz is coming out, Darrell Vaz, is because what? Election is in December, and you want to make it right with the people. You know, the Andrew Holness can't come out, so you are come out. Because the people them know that Andrew Holness promised that we will get, you understand, reduction in our energy bill. And the people realized that that did not happen. Andrew promise did not come true. So because Andrew cannot come true, you know, Mr. Vaz, they try to come true. Well, we have news for you tonight, because I have done the research. We have come at you tonight to tell Jamaican people to take with themselves from you. Don't bother believe, said Darrell Vaz, have the interest of the people. Darrell Vaz, if you never have the interest for 8 years, please don't have it now, because there is no way you're going to have it now. Andrew Holness promised the Jamaican people cheaper energy rate, and that did not happen. The JPS is crippling our people, cutting our bills, and I am telling Jamaica, JPS, it is long time, more than 13 years, that you are padding the Jamaican citizen bill, and we have the evidence tonight to prove that you are padding the Jamaican bills. So we are going tonight. People, let me tell you something. I had done the solid research. Now, since I talk about the donations, where am I going next? Is to get into JPS. Who are the owners for JPS? And what are the plans that they have? So we are going to get into the next document to find out who are the owners for JPS. Yes, man, Mystic Sensation have done the research. And what are their plans? Let me tell you something, people. This government, number one, Andrew, right? Don't bother believe that you're talking about renewable energy, and you are going to ask these same people, JPS, the owners of JPS, right, to run the renewable energy program. No. No, that's a wrong bomb, Mr. Andrew Holness. We want our Jamaican people by birth. We want to diversify renewable energy. make our Jamaican people manage it. What we want JPS, those people who own JPS, we want them to leave. They have oppressed us too long. And we want them to leave. We are not going to give them no stake in our renewable energy for them. You understand? To offer us renewable energy. And that's where we are going there. Me they tell us which part the electorate is going. The electorate want Jamaicans, you understand, to be the significant owner, right, of renewable energy. And that is where we are going. Let me read Latland again. I will come back later. They pass bills to keep poorly performing DPP, but as proposed, no bills to control JPS. Strange. Definitely Latland. But Latland, stay with me. We are going into this. So let us identify who are the owners of JPS. And let us identify that the money that JPS, right, generating from our Jamaican people is not serving the interests of Jamaican people, but serving the interests of their economy. Their economy, benefiting their economy. And I wonder why. And I wonder why our government allowed that. I wonder why our government allowed that. So if we go down into the juggling people, without any delay, let us bring up JPS. So let us show the people what is going on with JPS. Yes, man, we'll come out for them tonight. Let us educate our people. Now, my viewers, let us just increase this document. Because tonight we have the time for them, you know. Right? We are educating our people. We can't fool with people again, you know, when we there, you know. Right? Now let us look. Jamaica Public Service Company, essential upgrading for an electricity distributor. Let's get into it, people. Proparco is supporting the investment plan of Jamaica Public Service Company. Jamaica only electricity distributor. That means they are the one that have the monopoly. One of the programs aims is to upgrade generation infrastructures and the transmission grid. No, we don't want that. People, we don't want that. One of the program aims is to upgrade generation infrastructure and the transmission grid. We want to move away from fossil fuel. So people remember, break it down for now. We don't want that. We don't need that. Okay. Client presentation. Jamaican Public Service Company, JPS, is owned by Japan's Marubeni and Korea East-West Power Company. The Jamaican government, and so that means, you understand? See who own it here now? Marubeni, Japan Marubeni, Korea, right? East, West Power Company. Now, let us start, people. So then, right, the money that they generated is not circulating in Jamaica, in benefiting Jamaicans. I mean, I want them talk nothing about employment. We don't want them talk nothing about employment. Who cares about that? The Jamaican government and a few private shareholders with a generation capacity of over 620 megawatt. JPS is currently Jamaica's only electricity distributor. This we want to change. People, this must stop. We want to change this. And we are telling the political leaders that the electorate want this to be changed. Now, local loans will contribute to financing the rehabilitation and renewal of JPS generation infrastructure and power transmission and distribution grids. It will also support the implementation of an ambitious plan to reduce power losses, as well as the construction of the renewable energy infrastructure. No, we don't want JPS in the construction of the renewable energy infrastructure. You see, right here, so people, this is where we have problem now with our politicians. Our politicians need to talk to me, you know. We need Jamaicans, born Jamaicans, to run the renewable energy infrastructure. So any political party not having that aim and policy to make Jamaican burn, you understand, run the renewable energy. Why are we going to make JPS do renewable energy in terms of them people who suppress our people from God, he knows when? We don't want them run renewable energy. Diversify the renewable energy to multiple Jamaicans who can be benefited maximally and build our economy. That is what we want. So may I show the people the evidence. This investment program will contribute to improving the quality of JPS electricity service. We don't want to improve the business. We don't want to maximize the profit. We want to take ourselves away from the grid. The grid is killing us. The grid is stifling our economic lungs to function. Right? There is no country that can produce or manufacture as it relates to high energy cost that this JPS company, you understand, is putting the pressure on us. It will also contribute to diversifying Jamaica energy mix and will have an impact on the climate by reducing greenhouse gas emission by 410,000 tons a year. We don't want to have the business. We are telling the JPS, we don't want JPS to have renewable business, and Jamaicans must have it, and where the money that Jamaicans make spend in the country and develop the country's economy. You understand? We have sense. We are no fool. We are not going to be JPS slave. Okay. Take that away. You take that away. Take that document away. Right? Now, people, let me speak this. And the educated people. What we want to move forward towards renewable energy. But we don't want JPS to move forward in terms of distributing renewable energy to us. No, JPS, you have pressured us for God, he knows when. We want the renewable energy to be diversified through the government policies, the electorate voting for them. Whether you are going to have the diaspora, our local Jamaican businessmen born and grow Jamaicans. You understand? They need to have the stakes in the renewable energy, not JPS. And that we are saying, that we are defending, not JPS. Right? Because where that money is spending in Japan economy and Korea economy, building up Japan and Korea economy, in terms of what they have done to us, in terms of sucking the blood out of our people, right? With high energy costs that benefit their economy and not our economy. We need to have a government who sets a policy to move away Jamaicans from the grid, move Jamaicans away from fossil fuel, renewable energy we are speaking about. Now, I'm going to show you something, people. Let me talk to my wonderful people before I play this other information, because I don't want the controversy, you know. Come on, we are getting to them, right? JPS, what you had done in terms of, you understand, trying to pad in the bill and suppressing Jamaica, right? After we had gone through, right, the aftermath of Beryl, you don't have no sympathy on us. No sympathy. This goes to show you when we talk about crony capitalism, corporate greed, in spite of the fact that the people are suffering, in spite of the fact that small business owners have lost a lot and their businesses have been destroyed. JPS is doing one more evil, right? To add and increase on their bill. JPS, yes, you have my attention. I am going to deal with you tonight. I am going to open the can of worms. I am going to dig to the bottom and I am going to expose you tonight. So, unique, Mystic Sensation, I have a question in regards to JPS. Why did the Prime Ministers sold out JPS in the first place? Wasn't this company owned by Jamaica Public Service? Well, yes, that's a very, very, very good question. And let me say this without any hesitation, right? I think that was one of the bad moves, right, that we had done, right? And so when questions like that posed to us, right, we have to answer truthfully, right? Because the viewers want to know, right? And, you know, as we evolve, we are going to have bad government policies. But when we realize that these policies that we had made as a government, right, we need to make amendments, right, correct them and move on. Ruel Dama, the government is in charge. They are the one that give them the authority. Yes, Ruel, right? As I said, we have some wonderful, well-thinking people around here, but we are getting in it tonight and we are going to deal with it in an intelligent way, right? Now, the next document that I'm going to bring up, right, is just that we are going to talk about Philip Palwell, right? And Philip Palwell as an intellect, understand that, you know, we need to move away from fossil fuel because fossil fuel is stifling the Jamaican economy. The high energy cost, and not only in Jamaica, right? It's a global situation as it relates to high energy cost, right? But how do we, you know, introduce renewable energy in this space so that we make more Jamaican accessible to cheaper energy, and in the same breath, simultaneously, that we can have the purchasing power of our middle class increase. And so then, as it relates to the current situation with JPS, right, it is not going to happen because the electricity bills is so high and pressuring our Jamaican people pocketbook. So here we are today. We are telling the government that a change must be done and done urgently, right, as it relates to winning ourselves from fossil to renewable energy. So let me show you in terms of the move that Palwell made, right, during the Portia Simpson era, realizing that, you know, it just cannot help Jamaica interests as it relates to fossil fuel. Right, Reid said, this is why we need to get back to socialism where the people call the shots, not these sellouts. Oh my God, as I said, that we have well thinkers here as it relates to what Ruel said. Now, as we talk about crony capitalism, we have to take ourselves away from that and we talk about democratic socialism. And that's why people have to understand the reason why Michael Manley, right, raised the backside levy for us to be benefited from the backside levy, right? And so then here we are today that we are struggling, right? You know, and not having the ability, right, to produce because of high energy overheads. So we are here to inform our people, right, and make sure that renewable energy is on the ballot, right? People need to wean themselves from the grid, and the faster is the better. We need to send home back, right? Miranda, we need to send home back Japan interest, external interest, the Japan and the Korean interest. Those interest people are not serving the Jamaican interest. The majority of money that Japan and Korea made as a result of the grid is not serving the Jamaican interest. It is serving Japan economy and serving Korea economy. So me no want Jamaica Labour Party come tell me about JPS employ X amount of people and where go away with that. Go away with that. You understand? We are going to talk some truth tonight. We are going to get into the investigation tonight, right? And we are going to open some kind of ranch tonight, right? And that's why I want people, before I open and approach the next document. Now, people, we have seen some situation with Colonel Spencer, and I want to set the record straight before I get into that document, right? Because we know that the court found Colonel Spencer not guilty. So we are not going to be here chastising Colonel Spencer. This is not the situation about Colonel Spencer. This is a situation in terms of moving towards renewable energy. So let me warn that. You understand? Before I get into this next document, and for people who want to do their nitpicking, meaning not nitpicking business. We are talking about moving from fossil, right, to renewable energy. That is what we are talking about. That is what is going to benefit Jamaican economy, right? And we want renewable energy to be diversified, and Jamaicans own that. Not Japan, not Korea. People wake up. We need to wake up, right? And we need to make it, right? One of the factors in terms of our vote, we have to be serious. What JPS is doing is criminal to us. It's suppressing us. And we are going to prove it tonight. I research and do all the evidence. So without any delay, let us get into the next document. Let us get into the next document. Lights on. Controversial Cuban light bulb. Let us get into that. And as I said, people, right, as it relates to the interest of Philip Powell in wanting to go renewable energy, let us get into this. Lights on. Controversial Cuban bulb program coming back, right? This is what Powell is saying. Because the Cuban light bulb, right, are energy saving bulb that would be able to reduce the energy, right? And so that our people could be able, you understand, to be properly budgeted them themselves, right? And not have to deal with the high energy cost. Let us get into this. So there is Philip Powell, right? Wanting to move towards renewable energy. Let us look. Energy Minister Philip Powell has declared that the government will reintroduce the controversial Cuban Jamaican compact fluorescent lamp project, better known as the Cuban light bulb project, as a part of national sensitization program on energy conservation, right? In order to reduce the high cost of energy from the Jamaican people, Philip Powell is bringing this forward. Let people understand the information that is coming out here. Indeed, that Cuban light bulb project was a risk. It was a big risk, but I am going to resurrect the project. Now, the reason why Powell said it is a risk, let me let me make that phrase understandable. Paul will know that he's going up against capital cronyism, going up against the corporate greed, and knowing that, right, JPS, as it relates to Japan and Korea, right, wouldn't like that because this move is going to reduce their profit margin. So I want people to follow what we are saying here, you know, right? Indeed, let me quote, open quote, what Paul said as it relates to Paul concern here. Indeed, that Cuban light bulb project was a risk. It was a big risk, but I am going to resurrect that project because Paul know that, of course, corporate greed is going to launch on him. Paul said as he addressed a Montego Bay Chamber of Commerce and Industry breakfast forum on Jamaica's energy sector at the Westford Hotel in Montego Bay, St. James yesterday. Open quote, there are still thousands of light bulbs in Cuba destined for Jamaica, he added. Open quote again, close quote here, open quote again, Paul will continue. People are afraid to touch it because they know that they are going up against corporate greed. But as according to Paul, what Paul said, but I am going back for them, and we need to get those bulbs here because Paul know that it is important to get those bulbs here because Jamaican people are suffering on the JPS high cost. We want people to understand why we read. I mean, I break it down for the people. Paul, however, did not provide a timeline for restarting the demand management program. The Cuban light bulb project, launched in 2006, came under scrutiny in 2007 after former Junior Minister Kern Spencer was accused of corruption in the distribution of the bulbs. Spencer and his co-accused were arrested and slapped with corruption charges in connection with the investigation into the project. The case remains before the court. And we know that that case has been dismissed against Kern Spencer. So as I said, I don't want nobody to be coming and nitpicking what they need to nitpick. The overall thing we are talking about, the People's National Party, right, recognize the need, you understand, to leave from fossil and go renewable energy. Me no want no nitpicking around here, so. The government of Jamaica replaces high energy use, right, incandescent lamps, bulbs, in private residence and public buildings with energy saving CFLs donated by the government of Cuba. So even Cuba recognized that no man, we have to help our Jamaican counterparts in reducing their high energy costs because it is killing the Jamaican people. The CFL project forms a part of the Energy Ministry continued thrust towards energy conservation and efficiency as outlined in the National Energy Policy 2009 to 2030. According to the minister, the energy policy promulgated under the previous administration will be implemented to its fullest in a bid to reduce the price of electricity from what you know, people, from 40 cents US cents, from 40 US cents per kilowatt hour to 15 cents per kilowatt hour. We must be serious, open quote, as it relates to Parliament. We must be serious about this because people won't come here to invest if we are not serious about what we are doing. Just imagine, as it relates to high energy cost people, as it relates to what Parliament is saying. And for us to seek outside investors who have an interest in Jamaica to come and invest, right? You're going to have overhead costs like high energy bill. You understand? It's going to defeat their purpose. Hence, we are saying that Jamaica is not going to make any progress in terms of manufacturing because it is too expensive to do any manufacturing. Hence, it is going to hold back the Jamaican economy. So the JPS is stifling the economic lungs of Jamaica. We want to understand what we are reading here now. The minister said, right? Now, let us take away that document for a while and let us get into this. And let me explain this to the people so that the people can pull up in terms of their understanding. So then, as it relates to the People's National Party, right? Bless myself. Kenny Marks, Byron, why couldn't they have made JPS public so the Jamaican people could buy shares? Kenny Marks, all right, let me tell you something. I am not going as it relates to making JPS public, right? When it comes to fossil fuel and how JPS is benefiting, and it is not, you understand, being circulating in our economy, you understand, we are not interested in that. But we are going towards renewable energy.
You know what he's saying, at the time when they sold it to Japan, and why didn't they just put it and make the shares public so Jamaican people who could invest buy the shares? Keep it within the country.
Okay, sorry to misconstrue you there. Put it up again. Put it up again. Right? So that we can, no, I understand what you're saying. Candy Max. Byron, why couldn't they have made JPS public so the Jamaican people could buy the shares? Yes, right. And of course, diversify that in terms of the multiple owners, and that would benefit us because, Candy Max, right? That money being, whatever make, as it relates to the different shareholders, Jamaican shareholders, as what you're saying, right? The money will be circulating in our economy. Thank you for that, money, right? Sometimes we are read fast now, we not really, but thank you for that. The money will be circulating within the economic space of Jamaica. That's what we want. That is what we want, Candy Max. As a matter of fact, all the assets that they have sold out. Yes.
If they put all of those out for public bid.
For public bid and to keep the money in the economy space, and so that the money can circulate in the Jamaica economy. So yes, Candy Max, you understand? Very good question. We understand what you are saying. Where that is concerned. Now let us move on to this. You know what, people? I'm going to show you something. State Tide said Cuba recognized Jamaica only because of Michael Manley, period. JLP government fought against Cuba so much. State Tide, you are so right. And I want people to understand what State Tide is saying, as it relates to the Jamaica Labour Party, spread propaganda and Michael Manley, that Michael Manley is going communist and blah, 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 blah. You understand what I said? Just to appease capitalism and their greed. You understand? That's several wickedness. See, God done us. I mean, I hesitate to say that several wickedness JLP had done, to pull back the economy, when the People's National Party is just forwarding the economy. You understand? And so then to every 2 steps the People's National Party make a move to strengthen the economy. You understand? When the people are misinformed and the people voting Jamaica Labour Party, we have what we have today, illicit enrichment. Illicit enrichment. Because the only thing that the Jamaica Labour Party know is to rob and pilfer from our treasury. Tonight, me not hesitating. You understand? As a matter of fact, we're looking forward for December. Looking forward for December. Now, just imagine, people. Let me get and explain and make people understand what happened. Darrell Vaz. Hey, what a thing. That Darrell Vaz and Nigel Clark. We're going to show you something, people. Darrell Vaz and Nigel Clark, as if they're rushing out now to defend the Jamaican people. You understand? Because JPS now is overcharging and they're telling JPS now to go back and recalculate. Come on, please. Darrell Vaz, who you think they can fool? Who you think you can fool? You can't fool the Jamaican people. Unique rate. So Byron, I think one of the main policies need to put in place, right, where taxpayers don't need to be paying no PM and turn around paying their bills, closet, food, and when them leave office, them still get paid. Well, all right. You hear what Uni Curry said right then and there. But let us get into that. That, you know, this is what Daryl was coming out to tell the people of Jamaica that we are defending the Jamaican people. You understand? And as it's because the people catch up on JPS padding their bills. And it is evidently clear. It is long time JPS padding the Jamaican people's bills. Long time they are doing it. And guess what? The Jamaica Labour Party know. The Jamaica Labour Party know. Andrew Holness know. And that is why we are asking how much JPS donated to the Jamaica Labour Party in the 2020 general election. Mystic Sensation is asking that. So when Andrew Holness run out, I'm going to play the clip. We're going to play the clip. So when Andrew Holness run out and talking about energy costs cheaper for people, he wasn't speaking on behalf of the interests of the people. It was a political strategy threatening JPS that JPS need to fund his political campaign because he has the wind in his back and he is moving on the political ladder, you understand, to win the election. So if they don't, let me talk it out, Andrew, if the JPS did not fund you, you understand, then you write policies, you understand, against JPS. And so then me ask Mystic Sensation, I ask you now, how much JPS fund your election 2020? That need to be discovered. Now, let us get into Andrew Holness. Now, and show you something, people. That's why I bring the history for our Jamaican people to understand as it relates to what the arms go to Daryl Bar, the go on with now, like the GLP is protecting, you understand, the people's interest. The JP is not protecting people's interest. It's because the people then find out that JPS, you understand, is overcharging them, and it is not now that that JPS is overcharging the people. The JPS has been overcharging the people them for a long time, and who don't know about it. Now let us get into Andrew Holness clip. Play YouTube. Let us get into the business tonight. We're going to deal with some situation tonight.
One of the things that I know affecting whole heap of people in Jamaica is the high electricity bill. When the PMP come into power, them say them going to bring down electricity costs. What has happened since? Electricity costs keep rising. They promise that by 2016, they would have made the JPS more efficient with more efficient plants. That's not going to happen till another 2 years. And before you know it, it will be another 3 or 4 years before them actually do it. The Labour Party will make sure that we put in place more efficient electricity generating plants to bring down the cost of electricity to you. I don't like to make promise. I make commitment. And under the Labour Party government, we are going to ensure that we bring to this country the big power plants. We are going to ensure that we bring to this country the big energy companies that can put the money in here to build the plants to give you cheaper and better electricity.
So people, let Mystic Sensation break down that for you tonight. And this is one of the reasons why we know that Andrew Holness is a political canartist. When we listen to that, one of the first fundamental wrong in terms of that policy plan that Andrew Holness have to bring more big energy company in Jamaica is a big no-no. Andrew Holness, that's a fundamental wrong. Mystic Sensation is telling you, don't go there, right? Don't go there. Because we want our people to move away from fossil fuel. We want renewable energy. And so then when you bring those big companies there as a country, you although we know that that was a lie. What is your policy plan? To increase the demand on fossil fuel? To increase the demand on fossil fuel when it's supposed to go renewable? So you know that that policy, you understand, is garbage coming out of Andrew Holness' mouth. Garbage coming out of Andrew Holness' mouth. To want to introduce more energy as it relates to fossil fuel, when we are supposed to move away from fossil fuel. We are concerned as it relates about climate changes. We are concerned that fossil fuel is burning out the ozone layer. We are concerned fossil fuel contribute to global warming. So Andrew Holness is a big wrong. But you know what? You believe that the masses of the Jamaican people, right, are not able to deduce what you're saying, that what you're saying is total nonsense if you make that move. But you weren't really talking to Jamaican people. You weren't talking to Jamaican people. That what you said there was a threat to JPS as it relates to funding your election. To tell JPS that they need to saddle up. Saddle up, because the wind is in your back in 2020. Right? And so then JPS need to jump on and fund your campaign. Because if they don't fund your campaign, you're threatening them that you're going to have big energy company come into the country, you understand, and compete with them. Let me just break through your information. Let me just decode your message for you, Andrew Holness. So you weren't sending, you understand, of an interest, you understand, to make Jamaican pay less for energy. No, that wasn't your interest, Andrew Holness. You understand? We know that you are evil. That wasn't your interest. That what you said was to send a message to JPS that they need to fund you awesomely, because if they don't do that, you will, you understand, execute policies, right? But let me say this to you. Andrew Holness, we are coming at you. So not only Andrew Holness, who had failed, right, to come out and to make other promises, because Andrew Holness knew very well that he had failed on the promises. So the post-burial situation, the JPS expected that the government would back them up. But because the people realized and caught them red-handed, they're on in the cookie jar, paying the people's bill, Darrell Vaz tried to come out and fix it. Darrell Vaz, you are not talking on the people's interest. So let me ask you a question, Darrell Vaz. As it relates to what Andrew Holness just promised and what we heard, are the Jamaican people paying lesser for JPS bill? No. So then, when Andrew Holness promised that in 2015, now we see it as a carrot failure. Carrot failure. And so then, Andrew want us to know that he cannot come out and make another promise because his promise in 2015 he did not fulfill. So what Andrew wants us to know, send out the puppet. So let us hear how Andrew wants us to send out the puppet and how the puppet now acting as if he is talking on behalf of the Jamaican people. He have the interest to defend Jamaican people and show JPS under the bus. Let us show that clip. We are going to break them down tonight. We are not playing around here. Not playing around here. So go, right, and explain yourself, bossy slave. Play it.
Confirmed that external help is coming for the many people across Jamaica who are still without electricity 3 weeks after the passage of Hurricane Beryl. That's the word from Energy Minister Darrell Vaz. He gave the update on Wednesday, July 17 in a post-cabinet briefing where he noted that he had discussions with the JPS on the matter because outside of those hard-hit southern parishes, there are still many areas that do not have electricity.
External local contractors from the bauxite industry have been sought and assigned to Hanover and St. Elizabeth. Support requested from CARILEC, Caribbean Electric Utility Services Corporation. I can confirm that Belize and Suriname have agreed to send persons, and also Trinidad and Guyana.
The minister also noted that the damage to JPS has been quite expensive. So who will cover the cost? The minister said there is a special electricity disaster fund which the JPS has access to, and that currently has about $50 million. The
time has come for external assistance so that whatever is outstanding can be done in the shortest possible time.
Drinking warm water before bed balances blood sugar levels.
Take that away. Wife, you're clicking tonight, right? On point. Now, people, let me talk to you. And let me just break and damage the first lie. Before we get into this, I play Darrell Vaz's lie to expose you, to show Jamaican people that you have no interest in defending the poor people who are suffering from high energy costs and the wickedness that JPS had done as it relates to post-burial, and where JPS is put under pressure on people after the middle class being suffering, small business people in the affected area being suffering, and JPS did not care. JPS put on the pressure. So let us let us expose you on the first line. So let me ask a question, Darrell Vaz. Where are the external help from Belize, Suriname, and Guyana? Where are they? Darrell Vaz. Today is what? What day is today?
Today is Friday, August 23rd.
Today is Friday, August 23rd. Right? And you have said that, right, roughly about a month ago. Let me ask you, Darrell Vaz, as it relates to the care and the lie you told the Jamaican people as it relates to JPS readiness. The big old dirty lie you told. Me to ask you, where are the Belize, the Suriname, and the Guyanese external help? Where are they? Where are they, Darrell? You know, realize the Mystic Sensation is on your track. Where are they, Darrell Vaz? Can you come out and tell us the status as it relates to the external help from Belize, Suriname, and Guyana? You understand? That needs to make our people up and ready as it relates to their energy. Many small business being damaged as it relates to the government response to the hurricane situation. Poor response. Extremely poor and chaos response. Even now, as we speak, people are suffering in terms of not having energy. Uniquery. But Sir Byron, the JP saying PNP wanted communists, but who know now turning Jamaica in a communist, want to be president, taking away freedom of speech, dictatorship. Of course, you're right, my dear. You're right. That is exactly what they are doing because they are canatists. They are deflectors, misinformation, disinformation, just like what we proved now. I am asking Darrell Vaz, what is the status on the Belize, the Suriname, and the Guyanese, who you recognize that we need external help now because the situation is above the JPS, right? Where the JPS previously reported pre-burial that they were up and ready to deal with the aftermath of burial. We know that it is a callous failure. Now, let us get into this. I am not playing tonight, very serious tonight. Now, let us get into the next clip. Gist News.
Okay.
Let us get into the next clip and see where Darrell Vaz, the big hypocrite, claiming that he's defending Jamaican people, you understand, and Bill Padding. People look at
JPS has stated that two factors have accounted for the increased bills being received by their customers: fuel cost and exchange rate. The average increase in the fuel rate on electricity bills between April 24 and July 24 was $1.28 per kilowatt hour. The increase in the fuel rate on electricity bills for August 24 is $7.83 per kilowatt hour. The fuel rate will increase by 32% between July and August, up from an average increase of 4% between April and July. Again, bearing in mind that JPS did not have access to LNG for 5 days of the current billing cycle. LNG was made available from July 6, as I said before, at 9 p.m. For this reason, I reject the assertion given by JPS that the cost of ADO fuel is the reason for the increased bills being sent to Jamaicans. And I urge them to recalculate.
Take him away. Take him away, people. Take him away. This is the level of the wickedness of the Jamaican Labour Party. Right? This is the level of the wickedness. The Jamaican Labour Party and JPS have dialogue, and they have an awareness. But what? The Jamaican people caught up. Them with the hand in the cookie jar, padding the bills. And so then, the Jamaican Labour Party doesn't want to look bad to know that, no, this is a horrible situation. To know that people are suffering. And JPS did not sympathize as it relates to what the people been experiencing. No. But what the JLP had done is to increase the pressure on the black people. Yes. Increase the pressure on the Jamaican people. Right? This is what we call economic blood sports. Yes. Let me say it as it is. An economic blood sports. So that JPS can maximize their profit amid the dilemma of what the people are facing and experiencing. No sympathy about. No sympathy about. And the Jamaica Labour Party is acting as if they weren't aware, right? Careless, and show a government that have no hinge of care. Freedom. Did anyone ask Andrew how he was going to achieve his lying promises? Anytime Andrew and his cronies speak, please speak. Ask them the 5 W's and 1 H of journalism. Who, what, when, where, why, and how. I love freedom so much. Freedom, bless up yourself. Now, and those are investigative, probative questions. Now, let us get into the next. So we are not going to make you pass, Darrell, with your trickery. We know that Andrew Holness cannot show his face because he failed us in 2015 as it relates to his promise. So we know that. We are not looking for Andrew Holness' face. So Andrew Holness definitely utilizing your face. But guess what? At the end of the day, right, we caught JPS red-handed, right, in bill padding.
That's what Florence is saying.
Florence, my light bill jumped from 13,000 to 20,000 and big jump to 34,000, and I don't have no extra appliances and I am not home during the day. Florence Brown, that is what you call bill padding. JPS has been doing this for umpteen years, and I have the evidence to prove it, Florence. So stay tuned, Florence, and tune in. We are going to prove it tonight. Now let us get to the next clip. So Darvaz, we are not going to make you make a pass on this and believe that you're smart. You're political smart. We are here, and we are going to hold you accountable and your government accountable for the wickedness that you have been orchestrating. Let us get into it.
Okay.
All right. People, stay tuned because we are providing you the information, making you cognizant of what is happening. All right.
Chief Financial Officer Vernon Douglas of the JPS did not advise the Board of Directors or the government of Jamaica of the increase.
Wallet would have been the press linked to Beryl, or in a better position to accommodate him.
Mr. Douglas, you did not explicitly advise the Finance Ministry that the increases were coming, nor your customers. You did not. So I take it, did you advise the members of your board that this was coming?
This particular, the members of my board, I did not have a communication with the members of my board. There's not. I was not at our next board meeting will be in later on this month.
So you did not advise the board.
This was a well-kept secret, Mr. Douglas.
No, no, Mr. Hughes. This is not a well-kept secret.
But just for the record, you did not advise the board of JPS that, listen, this was coming down the pipe.
We have structured means of advising our board.
Yes.
They occur in terms of structured reports. I'll leave no further comment on this matter.
But given the fact that you're a monopoly, it's a particular industry, the country is so heavily reliant on it, you're the single player, how could you not, advise your board of such a hit that was coming for your customers? You don't have to have a board meeting to do that.
The hit that is coming, so to speak, as you have framed it, is not something that is observable at the outset, because there are a lot of moving parts in terms of what the effective demand is going to be. You don't know that until after the end. You don't know exactly what the bills are going to be from your power producers. So it's not something in essence that it's predictable in absolute terms.
Do you retain the confidence of the board?
I will not comment on that. This is probably for something for the board to comment on.
But you know that members of your board are very, very unhappy that they heard about this, like the rest of us, on the news, in social media.
I am not personally aware, thank you.
You're not aware that they're unhappy? You've not been advised? You've not been asked to explain how this could have happened without your board being advised?
What I can say is that what I do know our CEO and former and chairman, who would have been the acting CEO at the time, would have kept in constant dialogue with our board on matters surrounding the business. I do not explicitly if this particular matter was discussed with the board. I do not maintain that direct dialogue with the board.
Thank you very much, Vernon Douglas. He's the Chief Financial Officer at the Jamaica Public Service Company.
All right, Cliff Hughes. All right, Brother Cliff. Seen you trying to bat so hard for the government to have him on the record to say that he did not advise the board. So then the government was oblivious of the situation. And so then we are seeing where the government is now showing the JPS right underneath the bus, right, to say, don't mix up the government. No, Cliff Hughes, let me tell you something, Cliff Hughes. With all the spinning that you want to spin, right, at the end of the day, the government has to stand responsibility for this, right? It is, the GLP is the incumbent government, right? And under the incumbent government, right, we have seen where JPS padding the bills, and JPS expect the government, right, to back them on it. How much? Let me ask a question. Did JPS fund Andrew Holness campaign? How much? How much? And so then JPS believe, right, that they have the authority to manipulate our people because they fund the Jamaica Labour Party big time. Isn't that what is happening? You don't want to talk to the people. That is what is happening. Right? Now, let us go to the next clip. You want to show the people what is going on as it relates to what JPS had been doing for years. You're going to say that the government was not aware. Let me ask you a question. I want to be fair, right? Because people might believe that I am, Mystic. You tend to be dragging this a bit, and it seems like you are, just trying to have this expand in areas where it is not necessary. Now, let me ask. Jamaicans are complaining of bill hiking in their bills, right? And have substantial evidence of those activities happening to them, right? The government is aware of many of these complaints that people have been complaining about. What did the government do about it? The government has done nothing about it to protect these people as it relates to JPS, right? Continuing down the line and padding these people bills. So then you are not going to escape the judgment. You are not going to escape the judgment as it relates to Mystic Sensation. No, not going to escape the judgment. You're fully aware as a government that JPS is padding people's Jamaicans bill. Right? That Jamaicans are paying for what they don't even utilize. You're fully aware. The government fully aware. Let us get into the next document. Okay. And prove to people the evidence.
Finance Minister Dr. Nigel Clark was swift to respond to what was said by Ms. Callum on Nationwide at 5 on Monday. He rejected as inaccurate the claim from her that his ministry was informed beforehand that customers would see higher light bills for the July to August billing cycle in a lengthy thread on X on Monday evening. Minister Clark provided documents to back up his claim, and then this is what he said.
It has been brought to my attention that the communications director of the JPS misled the Jamaican people on nationwide radio a short while ago by providing a distorted and incomplete picture of communications in July between the JPS and the Ministry of Finance. This is most unfortunate. I can only imagine that it is either an unintentional error or a deliberate attempt to divert attention away from the inability of the JPS to restore normality to the Jamaican consumer. Whatever the motivation, in light of this misinformation and in the interest of transparency on this issue of understandable concern to Jamaicans, I've decided to release the communication between JPS and the Ministry of Finance on this matter. The liquefied natural gas, LNG, floating storage and regasification unit that supplies LNG to South Jamaica Power's Old Harbour Power Station had to be relocated for safety reasons ahead of Hurricane Beryl's arrival. This meant that this dual fuel power station that relied on LNG as the primary fuel source would have to temporarily resort to the alternative of automotive diesel oil, ADO, which is more expensive. The JPS wrote to me to advise of this and to specifically request, and I quote, a waiver of the SET on ADO for electricity generation or an application of the concessionary rate of $4.56 per litre, down from $44.90 per litre, for the month of July, sufficient for the restoration of normalcy. The Ministry of Finance responded and communicated the application of the concessionary rate of $4.56 per litre, down by nearly 90% from the $44.90 per litre communicated in JPS's letter to me. And this was applicable for the month of July as specifically requested by JPS, consistent with the advocacy and posture of the Minister of Science, Energy and Technology, the Honorable Darrell Vaz, on this matter. I urge the JPS to focus on the technical matters under their control and urgently restore normalcy to the Jamaican consumer. The government of Jamaica will not give distortionary or diversionary tactics the space to prevail.
Take that away. People, this is the reason why I played that evidence. Because Mystic Sensation bowled to him a bouncer. And he swiped and got caught at mid-off. So then Nigel Clark, evidence that established here tonight that the JPS board have dialogue with you. And you were cognizant of the race to come. You're a communizer. You don't know about to spin it. So when there vase jump out and I try to spin it, you're spinning it now because of the Jamaican people caught JPS in the cookie jar. Cutting the bills. But yet, now you are throwing JPS under the bus to say that the information was misconstrued. Nigel Clark, come on, Nigel Clark. Your government, your leadership, Nigel Clark, do you expect us, Jamaican, to believe in you when you have done the same pattern of behavior in SSL? Weren't you the one who said that the FBI will be investigating? And now we know that the FBI wasn't investigating. So why now should we believe that the JPS board of directors misconstrued the communication between the Ministry of Finance and JPS? Come on. And so when Darrell was coming out to spin what he can spin, and when Cliff Hughes coming out to spin what he can spin, it only exposed the government being cruel and callous to the Jamaican people. So let me warn my Jamaican people. Coming this general election, you know what to do when it comes to these unconscionable miraculous sucking the blood of the poor and keep on beating them down, right? To suffer Jamaica from economic prosperity. But I tell you this, we are here to defend and fight for our Jamaican people with every strength that we have. Now, my Jamaican people, let me give you evidence, clear evidence, that the JPS has been doing this as it relates to padding bills. Right? As Freedom said, yes, evil has no loyalty. And so then let me say this to you, that I am going to give you an evidence that is so concrete to show Jamaica locally and in the diaspora that JPS has been padding the bill for more than 13 years. The next clip will tell you that JPS evidently, strong evidence, has been padding, bill padding the Jamaican people for over 13 years. Let us play the next clip for evidence. Let us bring up this.
I'll show you a simple example why JPS are the biggest in the world. Before me change my name and change over the utilities bill for the house here in my name. The utilities bill like the light bill and so used to still in the previous owner name. Them time they may get some light bill for all $15,000, $12,000. But lad, you see, as me change the light bill name and put Adija Palmer. Tell me if you can see that. Tell me when you see it. You see it? Adija Palmer. I fly out 1 February, I think February of this year, I fly out. When I come back, remember, you know, the bill the day, $15,000, $12,000. Since I put my name on it, in February, I fly out. When I come back, I see a bill for $71,000. See it there? And my woman pay the bill. So when she pay the bill, I come back and see my cousin and go and do things. And I say, them JPS people here take off for fool. Just because them say Adija Palmer name on it, the bill reached from $15,000 to $71,000. Anyway, she paid the bill, and them I say, oh, some papi show. So you see the next bill them sent for the 15th of March, it come up to $63,000. So me decide say, well, me not pay the bill yeah. So me say, alright, me not pay the bill there. Anyway, them send back a bill now, say the bill yeah, due the 18th of April. See how much the bill come up to ya? $124,000. So, because me don't want them pull an elephant man for me, and me say, alright, I know these people stay, them pull an elephant man for me and try, put it in a the Star, put it in a the Gleaner. The usual propaganda would them pull off and get to you. Me say, alright, you know, if I take like a shame out of my eye, me I go pay half of the money, which is $62,000, and then me I go send money, go up to the Jamaica Civil Service, which is the JPS, and query why my bill is so high, and why the bill gets so high since I put my name on the light bill. Anyway, I pay it, so I pay $62,000, that time in April. Alright, watch you know. After money go up there and query everything, them say, alright, come like cartel pick up where I go on. So, guess how much the bill come to for the following month, which is the 17th of May. Remember me pay half of the 100,000, so them balance brought forward 60,000. After we make the complaint up at JPS, you know how much the bill come to for the next month? Them drop it to 32,000. See it there? Now Jamaica people, more want to tell me, if you want to see JPS, take poor people and take ghetto people, and take ghetto youth, who have a talent and make a little money and can better them life for them family. You know, see them take with a fool.
So then, is that a lie, JPS? Well, the evidence, right? Clear evidence, documentation evidence. Now, when Vybz Cartel did that, we know that Vybz Cartel spent 12 years and something in prison, and that has been done before Vybz Cartel went to prison. So then we are saying more than 13 years, JPS has been paying the Jamaican bills.
Long before that.
And long before that, we have judgment tonight. People, we have judgment tonight. And that's why we are saying to the government that we don't want no policy position that the government is going to take, that when we are going renewable energy, JPS is going to be the distributor for renewable energy. Let me warn you. Renewable energy must be owned by Jamaicans and Jamaicans only. Jamaicans by birth. So who want to say that, yes, that is discriminating, Mystic, that is discriminating? I don't care. We need to grow our economy and our people need to benefit, and we need to dismiss fossil fuel. And so that when it comes to renewable energy, Jamaicans are to be the stakeholders and shareholders for renewable energy in Jamaica. Not JPS. Jamaican people, I want you to understand what I am saying here. It is critically important for economic viability to move forward in this country. We have to own renewable energy. Now let me take the call. Yes, caller, you're on the line. Go ahead, Mystic Sensation Live.
Yeah, man. Good evening, man.
Good evening, my friend.
I've been listening to the program, and this JPS issue really teaches citizenry a lot of things, including the fact that the government feel as though they are losing their grip. Because, as you quite rightly say, and listen to the program, I mean, the finance minister get caught, you know.
Caught
because
again.
He was willing to read. He said, and I listen, in the interest of transparency on this occasion, I'm sure him use that word, on this occasion, is going to read the correspondence between the JPS and the government. And I keep wondering, what is the difference with this situation and the issue with SSN and the transparency?
Exactly, sir.
You know, so it tells that they're losing grip, and because even what Darrell, as you quite rightly say, you know, Darrell, the government is throwing JPS under the bus because they're looking at the mileage. You notice how the prime minister would normally be striding on these situations. You notice I'm silent.
Exactly.
Anytime any negative thing come up, you're not going to see the prime minister. They only come up when you have a cut ribbon for a few guard rooms where you might get poor people. And so people have to look at these things in context, you know, my dear sir.
You're perfectly right, sir.
Because I couldn't help but voice in my views after having listened to the background of information that you had, and realize that the government really mean the country any good.
Definitely.
The reason they're talking now is because they're under political pressure, and they might give the impression to the people, and because our people so gullible already, that they might say, yeah, boy, the government really, the government now help with them themselves.
There you go.
Yeah, because they know we're gullible. They might try to do for after honest made that statement about when we get, and you're quite right. Let's say we're supposed to be moving away from fossil fuel and deal with clean energy.
Exactly.
Right? Look how much sun we have, 365 days a year.
There you go, sir.
Nobody's talking about solar energy.
There you go. I'm glad. Oh,
you know about again, Sir Mystic. When the people start to move away from solar, what's going to happen is that the people who are still on the grid, would they expect it to go up, you know, because they are going to have far less customers.
yes.
So we're paying more. Less customers.
And those people will be paid more.
More for each bill.
Exactly.
So, you know, it's a sad situation with the people, and the government, the government making the exacerbate the situation worse.
Thank you.
And when you're talking, I'm a card, see the comparison with the SSL, and you have to put them foot to the fire, man, because you can see the clear hypocrisy when the finance minister talk about transparency. They're not want to the drugs and all them things. They want to SSL and the FBI. If no want transparency for that.
There you go.
So I just call to really share my views on this particular issue, sir.
Thank you. Thank you. And thank you for calling in. Wonderful input. Thank you. You know, and this is what we are saying, that we are talking to our people.
But now you have me searching for our light bill. It not come yet. I love to see, because not even my bulb we don't have on for more than a year now. So
all right.
I'm very curious to see it.
But we are talking to our people because we want our people. Let me tell you something. We love our people. Yes, we love our people, and where we want to go, right? We want to dismiss, right? Those people who are manipulating us, right? As it relates to the owners of JPS who have no interest in our economy, right? But to suppress us, right? We have to. And that's why we as a people, we are saying, as it relates to the electorate, that Jamaicans need to be the owner of renewable energy, so that every single dollar generated is within the benefit of the economy, circulating within the economy and benefiting and strengthening the middle class of our society, and in extension, everyone as an whole. The pressure is on the middle class back, working so hard. Let me speak now tonight. But before I get into my preaching tonight, let me bring up this. And let me say this to Jamaica as it relates to Mark Golden. That we have brother Mark Golden, father to many, as it relates to Mark Golden, dotting all the I's, crossing all the T's, and the fundamental, as it relates to Mark Golden, honesty and integrity. Honesty and integrity. A leader that can represent us, showing the beacon of light, illuminating through the Caribbean and into the international hemisphere. This is what Mark Golden's mission is. Let us play the clip. Let us play the clip. And that's why Jamaican people, we need to stand fast, steadfast, and choose our leader.
The issue of energy costs in Jamaica needs to be addressed. They are way too high, and they are another structural impediment to economic transformation. We have some proposals to ensure a viable and sustainable electricity system and to bring down electricity costs to consumers and businesses. We'll undertake a massive regularization support drive for electricity connections, including a subsidy to help families meet the costs of rewiring, inspection, and certification. And we will provide these families with solar panels to help them manage their energy costs going forward and build climate sustainability. We'll roll out a national energy efficiency, natural lighting, and passive cooling program, financed by local, regional, and international development banks and private risk capital. The objective here is to achieve an average 50% reduction in residential energy consumption and costs, with a very short payback of a few years. We'll prioritize achieving our renewable energy target of 33% by 2030. This government has failed to issue regular renewable energy RFPs, requests for proposals. Indeed, they've only issued one in the last 8 years. That is an indictment on their management of the economy. These RFPs generate fee income for the government, and the capital required to implement these wind, solar, hydro, and waste energy projects is privately funded. We intend to issue utility-scale RFPs every 2 to 3 years to reach the renewable energy target. And Mr. Speaker, we will review the tax system affecting the energy sector to ensure that it incentivizes investments in efficiency and cost-reducing replacement and expansion of the sector, in keeping with our policy priorities to reduce Jamaica's carbon footprint. The vexed issue of energy costs in Jamaica needs to be addressed. They are way too high, and they are another structural impediment to economic transformation. We have some proposals to ensure a viable and sustainable electricity system and to bring down electricity costs to consumers and businesses. We'll undertake a massive regularization support drive for electricity connections, including a subsidy to help families meet the costs of rewiring, inspection, and certification. And we will provide these families with solar panels to help them manage their energy costs going forward and build climate sustainability. We'll roll out a national energy efficiency, natural lighting, and passive cooling program financed by local, regional, and international development banks and private risk capital. The objective here is to achieve an average 50% reduction in residential energy consumption and costs with a very short payback of a few years. We'll prioritize achieving our renewable energy target of 33% by 2030. This government has failed to issue regular renewable energy RFPs, requests for proposals. Indeed, they've only issued one in the last 8 years. That is an indictment on their management of the economy. These RFPs generate fee income for the government, and the capital required to implement these wind, solar, hydro, and waste energy projects is privately funded. We intend to issue utility-scale RFPs every 2 to 3 years to reach the renewable energy target. And Mr. Speaker, we will review the tax system affecting the energy sector to ensure that it incentivizes investments in efficiency and cost-reducing replacement and expansion of the sector, in keeping with our policy priorities to reduce Jamaica's carbon footprint. The vexed issue of energy costs in Jamaica needs to be addressed. They are way too high, and they are another structural impediment to economic transformation. We have some proposals to ensure a viable and sustainable electricity system and to bring down electricity costs to consumers and businesses. We'll undertake a massive regularization support drive for electricity connections, including a subsidy to help families meet the costs of rewiring, inspection, and certification. And we will provide these families with solar panels to help them manage their energy costs going forward and build climate sustainability. We'll roll out a national energy efficiency, natural lighting, and passive cooling program financed by local, regional, and international development banks and private risk capital. The objective here is to achieve an average 50% reduction in residential energy consumption and costs with a very short payback of a few years. We'll prioritize achieving our renewable energy target of 33% by 2030. This government has failed to issue regular renewable energy RFPs, requests for proposals. Indeed, they've only issued one in the last 8 years. That is an indictment on their management of the economy. These RFPs generate fee.
Okay. All right. Now, big question in the room. Because we finished with, as it relates to renewable energy, and we, the people of Jamaica, we understand where we want to go as it relates to renewable energy. And dismiss fossil fuel, right? Now, we are going to Now, let me say this. We are possibly looking on a December general election. I don't want to speak to Jamaica before I get into this, because we are going to deep dive as it relates to Andrew Owen's statutory declaration and in extension the illicit aid. Why is it serious? Why is it serious? It's to the fact that Andrew Owen is hell-bent in saying that he holds the Jamaican no explanation to explain to the Jamaican people as it relates to not able to certify his statutory declaration. And then he wants to make it seem as if it is the Integrity Commission who hindering the process to have his statutory declaration certified. So let me speak to the people. The reason why your statutory declaration cannot be certified is to the fact that you have lied. You have lied on your statutory declaration, and the Integrity Commission is asking you and giving you time to bring the requisite document to justify the wealth you have in relation to your income. So then let me get it. Let us get into this. Yes, I know that you have a lot of people who don't want me to dig into this. But Jamaican people, this is what we need to dig into, because this is a fundamental problem. And why it is a fundamental problem? Because if the Prime Minister is unable to explain his wealth as it relates to his income, then it's a problem. It's a problem. Where did he get the money from? Where did he get the money from? And so then he decided that, look, he doesn't have to say anything to us. We don't know the illicit aid, and the electorate need to go to the poll and vote for them. Andrew Owen, let me tell you something. You are wrong. You are dead wrong. And I say this to you, right? Because you believe that you can be strong and wrong. Well, Mystic Sensation have news for you, sir. We are going to expose you. Now, let us get into our first clip. Right? Let us get into our first clip. And show the people what is going on. We are not playing tonight. Very serious tonight.
Revert to that. One sec, guys.
We are going to show the people what is going on. All right. And so then we have Julian Robinson speaking out on the situation. Right? And we are going to show the people what Julian Robinson is saying as it relates to Andrew Owen statutory declaration, cannot be certified. And he decided that, okay, he does not have to tell Jamaican people anything. Right? Even although the facts are not on his side. Let us read. Julian Robinson here. Opposition People's National Party spokesman on finance Julian Robinson is predicting that the ruling Jamaica Labour Party will be forced to call general election this year. And why that is? Instead of 2025, when it is constitutionally due. Your man is under pressure. Real pressure. Serious pressure. To deal with the backlash, he says will follow the revelation of the identities of the 8 parliamentarians who are under probe for illicit enrichment. Let us read in the paragraph. In urging party faithful to be prepared to go to the polls, Robinson, who was the guest speaker at the PNP Women's Conference at St. Hilda's High School in St. Anne on the weekend, predicted that the unveiling of those individuals will begin when Parliament resumes in September after its summer break. Open quote. In 2 weeks' time, on September 4th, the Jamaica Labour Party will start its 5th year in government. In my opinion, analysis, we will have an election this year. I will explain why I believe so. There are 8 labor rights under investigation for illicit enrichment. You know what that means. We have never in the history of this country or in any democracy anywhere in the world, you could have a prime minister going 3 years and an integrity report clear. Never. Parliament depend break you now. We are go back in September. Me expect 1 or 2 of them report that they come. And when them come, Bangara I go come. So we need to be ready. Robinson told an appreciative crowd, take that away, honey. Bangarang. I go come. Hey, people, you may not know how serious this is, but this is very, very serious. Now let us go to the next document. XCOM. John Pollock. We are getting there, people. We are getting there. And we are going to show why Andrew Only's statutory declaration will never, ever able to certify. Let us get into this.
There.
Okay. Here is it. Members of the JP Parliament Caucus are on edge this evening.
August 19th.
And this is August 19th. People listen what they are saying. Members of the JP Parliament Caucus are on edge this evening. Some want to clear their names of being illicit enriched, but can't because the Prime Minister have threatened them with undated letters. Donors are not giving any money until they are named. Take that away. People, bangarang there, Bangarang there. some donors are pulling out because they are pulling out to say that the Prime Minister need to come out and lift the gag order so the Integrity Commission can talk up, or the Prime Minister need to explain who the illicit aid are. Bangarang are coming people. What is that? I don't know, show me a touch. Bangarang is coming. No, people. Let us get to the next clip. Because you see what the donors are saying. Jamaica Labour Party donors, right? They are pulling out because they want to know the illicit aid. We can't go to a general election where you have people pilfering our treasury, doing all manner of evil and corruption, and want us to vote for them. No, and I'm glad that the donors are taking this position. I am glad that the opposition is pushing back forcefully to say, no, you can't do this. Nowhere in the Caribbean, nowhere in the modern world, where a Prime Minister going 3 years without his statutory declaration cannot be certified. And so then, the donors, right, probably some of them from PSOJ, start to understand that no, man, we are looking too bad because really and truly Mark Golden, right, dotted all the I's and crossed all the T's, and Mark Golden statutory declaration certified and okay. 1, 2, and 2 oneness. What's up with him? My statutory declaration cannot be certified. We don't understand what's going on. No. I mean, look. This is serious. This has to be serious. Right? Where we have a Prime Minister, right, going 3 years, statutory declaration cannot be certified. Now, Jamaica, I am going to show you something which I have been showing all along. And I know that this is going to be the primary thing to get down this government. Clear corruption. Clear corruption. Right? So we are going to look on Mark Golden statutory declaration. Right? But before we get there, and we are going to show a comparison with Andrew Warner's, matching up Mark Golden's statutory declaration and Andrew Warner's statutory declaration, and show the Jamaican people why this man cannot be certified. People, listen to me. Let us put out the politics out of this. Let us put out all the PR stunt that Andrew Holness may have and what he's promising and what he's saying. Right is right and wrong is wrong. The Prime Minister involved in SSL. The Prime Minister awarded contracts to Gavin. We have to stand up and have backbone, stand up on principle to bring the country forward as it relates to a vibrant economy that deals with good, solid governance, where we can be a be so proud of our Prime Minister, knowing to the fact that our Prime Minister is not mixed up in no hanky-panky. Our Prime Minister is not in any form of skullduggery, nepotism, cronyism. And you are going to tell me that we only see green and we only see orange. And so no matter what, to the fact that we are aligned with a political party, no matter what the political party has done, we don't see the wrong. We are not able to decipher, to deduce, to perceive. What are you saying to us? That we as a people lack the ability, right, to speak truth, to power, to identify the wrongdoing, to call a spade a spade. And let me ask, then why should it be that Mark Golding, and every statutory declaration and every year that Mark Golding is expected, right, to obey the law, to dot all the I's, to cross all the T's, and present a statutory declaration that's certified and fulfilling? So why then should we have a policy different from Mark Golding and Andrew Holness? That Andrew Holness has been going 3 consecutive years without his statutory declaration being certified, and what? We are allowed to accept that? People, are we sick? People, what are we saying? What do we want to accept? What do we want to, what are the principles that we are setting for our children and the principles that we are setting for our future? Then you tell me that the Prime Minister have observed that this has been a fundamental issue for him to go forward, for him to create transparency, for him to have the situation clarified, for him at the end of the government, for him who represent the Jamaican people to say, I need to be transparent. I need to be clear. I need to be honest, as he instructed us in 2015, that we as a people, if we see that the government is not executing its job in a responsible way, we as a people need to speak up. You're going to tell me at this particular time, right? Politics is going to be the order of day, and political biases is going to put before integrity. You have seen clearly. We are a DPP willing to go beyond the extra mile as it relates to being negative. For what? For what? To prevent justice from prevailing. So you tell me, is it okay, my Jamaican people, for a Prime Minister who representing us, what are we to say to our children? Let us look on the future of Jamaica. Are we saying to our children that it is okay that you can be in representational politics and you can breach all the procurement guidelines? You can act as a dictator. You can breach and rape the Constitution. You can believe that because you are mighty, because you are You have the right to abuse the Jamaican people, and they don't have the right to have checks and balance for your government. So tell me, is this the Andrew Wallace who claimed that, of course, we need an impeachment bill to add an extra layer to protect the citizens of Jamaica? And here we are today, that we have the same Andrew Holness of 2015 in the year 2024 drafting a reform constitution, and is now saying that an impeachment clause must not be added. David Forbes said, big up Mystic. Can't believe Jamaicans are so comfortable with this criminal leadership. Stand up, Jamaica, for justice. Aren't we have the principle of Marcus Mosiah Garvey? Don't we see the love, care, and passion of a Michael Manley? And those who carry on the mandate of democratic socialism, equal opportunity must be provided to all of our people, giving them the opportunity of upward mobility under Andrew Holness-led government. The rapid migration of our teachers, the rapid migration of our technocrats, and hence hinge on brain drain society. Now you tell me, is this an Andrew Holness who care for Jamaican people as what he presented himself in 2015? That he decided to fight for the Jamaican people? But this very same Prime Minister that rise SSL, knowing to the fact that SSL was Paul Cheng Young and Associates in 1995 that caused the FinSac, and where we have lost 20% of our GDP. A Prime Minister who believed from the onset, influencing his members of parliament not to sign the code of conduct. A premeditated action to the fact that they know what they are going to do, futuristically speaking, and executed it. And with the intention moving forward to execute, legislate, as it relates to the Integrity Commission Act, Section 53, subsection 3, to muzzle the Integrity Commission from speaking out. We have heard vloggers from the Jamaica Labour Party is now accusing the Integrity Commission investigators to be PNP comrade. Just imagine. That within itself is sickening. The Integrity Commission Act, let me remind you, was put in place as it relates to a giant effort by the People's National Party and the Jamaica Labour Party. Go back and look on your electoral map, sir. For those who are saying that the Integrity Commission is partisan, you go and look on the 2016 electoral map and see what you see. You will see that the Integrity Commission Act, legislate 2017, and why that was because it was a joint decision between the Jamaica Labour Party and the People's National Party. The Jamaican Labour Party has 32 members of parliament and the People's National Party has 31. And on that basis, they both agreed. But when it comes to corruption, you tend to want to now politicize the Integrity Commission investigation because of the corruption that you're involved in. We have seen where the Jamaican Labour Party put people in place who are not qualified for the job. People who are not qualified for the job. We have one of them as we speak, Chopper John, let me call the name, at the Western Regional Children Hospital, working as a project manager and don't have the qualification of an engineer. He's not the only person that the Jamaica Labour Party has done this level of corruption with. Right? Passing contracts over the head, right, of civil engineers, putting their puppets in. Yes. Nepotism, cronyism, and skullduggery that grips this country. We have seen a healthcare system that is so dilapidated. And we have seen the political spin doctor coming out to do their PR. That, okay, it's not that bad. It's okay. While we have the first world country, United States of America and Canada, saying to Jamaican people and their own people that, look, that is garbage. The Jamaica health care situation is garbage. Don't you listen to that Christopher Tufton? So then, is the United States is partisan? Is Canada partisan in telling their people, no, travel advisory category 4? So then, Jamaican people who want to be biased, who want to be partisan, ask yourself the question if the United States is partisan. Ask yourself the question if Canada is partisan. Ask yourself the question that the investigation that they had done and discovered that the healthcare system is in a crisis. Crisis. The billions that spent, where did it go? Where did it go? And we have heard billions that spent, and the Jamaica Labour Party brags in that they spent billions. Where did it go? Several hospitals are without basic commodity as beds that even have tiny tissues So where the billions spent go? Come on, Christopher Tufton. Talk to us. Tell us where the billions go. Why so many people are suffering, Christopher Tufton. $1.7 trillion had been unable to be properly accounted for, and where the healthcare of that 1.7 billion has 700 billion as it relates to the healthcare. You talk to me, people. You talk to me, people. And yet, we spend a lot on billions. Now you're going to tell me that the reason for that we are not able to account because people what? Laid off and some people died, and the appropriation account that's supposed to be tendered on a yearly basis has not been tendered, and yet the permanent secretary who knows this allowed that to happen from 2016 until now, knowing that the appropriation account is not being submitted on a yearly basis as it relates to what prescribing law. And what Tufton done about it? What Tufton do about it? Knowing that the Ministry of Health is not submitting their appropriation account on a yearly basis. Tufton, you didn't know this? Come on, Tufton. Come on. I deal with audit. And you are at the helm. And you are going to say to us, you weren't aware that the appropriation account has not been submitted? And if you are aware, what did you do about it, Mr. Tufton? What? You make the money fall between the cracks. You make all the money fall between the cracks. Over $700 billion. And here you are, facing a general election. What your spin is going to be? Are you going to ask? Are you going to ask Fat Mama to spin this one for you? You're a top spinner. But while you are spinning, the people are suffering, the people are dying with your spins. And here you are, under the Jamaica Labour Party. You have seen the Prime Minister now, so let us move from health now to security. That we see the Prime Minister now, because he has a mouthpiece as it relates to Tufton to PR the health disaster. He's now going around speaking to Superintendent of Police, talking about crime. But Prime Minister, the crime situation is a disaster. You fail in crime, you fail in health. I don't want to speak about education. That's where it hurts me most. But I'm going to speak. You have the audacity. Your wife has the audacity. Favor Williams have the audacity to rub in our face. To rub in our face the appearance of someone who facing criminal charges to destroy our education system. Is it that you have no shame or you have no morals? Is it that you have lost your moral compass? What is the means to know that someone who is before the court that the Jamaican people is not getting any transparency, any justice. But Palabi saying that Andrew Holness is the best prime minister to protect the status quo of criminality. And so he will defend him because he's eating out of the trap. You have no shame. This government moral compass has flatlined. And so then, since you are flatlined and since you have associated with someone who is facing criminal charges, you're saying to the Jamaican people, that's who you are. So I'm glad that you have given the Jamaican people your mandate, telling them who you are. It's for us to profess that and take it to the ballot. So then, my final word for tonight. My final word tonight is to say to our Jamaican people, please be ready and know that the time is drawing nigh, and what we need to do is to be informed, stay in tune, and deliver what needs to be delivered. And if you want checks and balance and transparency, we need to put Mark Golden with a convincing win so that policies can be implemented and we can make a 180 degrees turn in bringing back the light in our economy. So that is my final say, as I will be handing over to my wife for Jeopardy. And I know that Jeopardy people are waiting. We want to say a big thanks to you for passing through Mystic Sensation on a Tuesday and a Friday. We are so happy to have you, right, be by our side, strengthening us, right, to navigate our pathway for victory, to bring forth a better nation and a better tomorrow. Thank you. All right, Amin, that's you.
Okay, thank you so much for those educational and inspiring last few words. Really appreciate the amount of work that is put into these discussions each week. And thank you guys also for making the discussions so interactive. Really appreciate each and every one. Thank you so much for your continued support. As I always say, you could have been elsewhere on your Friday night, but you chose to be with us. So we do not take that for granted. And welcome to those who are just joining in. Happy Friday. Really appreciate you all. So we are not going to delay. We are going to go into Jeopardy. But before I do that, let me just do a reminder for the back to school treat that is being done by Alan Bernard during the coming week, August 28th. It'll be at the Gulf Playing Field between 12 p.m. to 3 p.m. Doing that back to school treat. So those who are within that environment, make sure that you turn out. And then on the August 29th, which is next Thursday, between 12 p.m. and 3 p.m., they'll be at the Grant Basic School, and it's for ages 3 to 6 years old. So another back to school treat there for the kids. Salt Spring Bottom Road Ball Ground, 2 p.m. to 5 p.m. And that's on Saturday, August 24th. So that's tomorrow. And the ages are 3 to 6. So go out and get your back to school treat. And Tuesday, August 27th, 10 a.m. to 3 p.m., it will be at the Norwood Basic School. And again, age is 3 to 6. So make sure you go out and get your back to school treat, because every little helps in this very difficult time. And everything is so expensive, as people have been saying in the chat, and it's back to school time now. And I know the stress that is on a lot of parents right now with the long unnecessary book list, where some of the books they only use once in a term, and then the book is not used again, and then you write in the book, you can't even sell it back to anybody because it's of no use, because they keep just padding the book list. You have to find bag, uniform, stationaries, and everything is on the parents. So you know, just hold strong, keep the faith, and wherever you can get a little support, can go and try and get it, because these are very perilous times that we are in right now. And it's just the rich is getting richer and the poor is getting poorer, and the middle class is being very quickly eroded. I wouldn't say slowly eroded anymore, it was very quickly eroded.
Rapidly eroded, yeah.
All right, so we are going to go into Jeopardy, and as you know, we are going to be playing for credit. The person with the most points get $1,000 credit, Digicel or Flow, and then we have 4 runners up of $500 each, Digicel or Flow. The question is in the form of a statement. You answer in the form of a question. If it's the name of a person, then you answer who is. And if it's a place or thing, then you answer what is. All right, so welcome, Brittany. Thank you guys so much. All right, so I am just going to show the template. And let me just take the logo off so you can see it fully. All right, so tonight's categories are Jamaican fruit, Jamaican games, no Jamaica, antonyms, and Jamaican places. So as usual, I'm just going to ask someone to throw out a category and for how many points, and then we will start there. The first one I see is what we're going to start with, and the person who answers the question first correctly will get to choose the next question and for how many points until the board is empty. All right, so please throw out a category and for how many points to start with. The church court teacher said church are gone mainstream in Jamaica at $871.26. Can you imagine? All right, Truck Life is saying fruits for 100. Fruit native to West Africa that was introduced to the Caribbean. It is the national fruit of Jamaica. Everybody run out. The orange book, please. Fruit native to West Africa that was introduced to the Caribbean. It's the national fruit of Jamaica. And a pen. Yeah, yeah, while you guys were talking and drinking, I was eating fast. Oh, really?
Pen?
Yeah, black ink.
Anything for me?
No. On the black ink, I don't have you. You're just yakking. All right. Okay, have a good night, Freedom, and have a wonderful rest of the weekend. Thank you so much for your continued support and endorsement.
Bless up yourself, Freedom.
All right, I see the answer that I'm looking for, so no delays, and it is what is Aki. And just the fun fact, it is high in protein, fiber, vitamin A, and minerals such as iron, potassium, magnesium, and calcium. Eating Aki has been shown to promote digestive health, stabilize blood sugar, enhance weight loss, improve heart health, enhance bone health, strengthen the immune system, and protect against macular degeneration. That is the eyes. It promote good eyesight. And that is for, yes. There you know, they make me sick. Me touch that. And that is for 100 points. So let's see who first came in with the correct answer, because everybody run out. Truck Life.
All right.
100 points on the board. And in
Life.
most other things are hoping one thing will stick.
All right.
Monica 876 by birth. Welcome, welcome. Brittany also got Aki, Maxine. That's all the answers came in. Good night, Norman. Have a wonderful rest of the weekend and a productive week. Thank you so much for your continued support. Yes, J. Lewis, I can eat it, but I can't eat too much. If I eat too much of it, it makes me nauseated and my stomach get upset too. So, doctor told me that.
How much points for Truck Life?
100. I have to be careful of how much I eat of it at the time, because, as you know, it is nature's natural poison. That's what they term it as. But we.
Why me love me for natural poison?
All right. Truck Life is saying fruit for 500. Tree and fruit native to the Pacific Islands and Malaysia that was brought to the West Indies in the 18th century. So name this tree or fruit. So tree and fruit native to the Pacific Islands and Malaysia that was brought to the West Indies in the 18th century. And that is for 500 points. Let me see. Into a spoil. I want this little time, 819. All right, I see the answer that I am looking for, and it is, what is breadfruit? So breadfruit is the answer, and it is for 500 points. And the fun fact, breadfruit roots, leaves, and latex are used to make medicine. Breadfruit root and leaves are taken by mouth for arthritis, asthma, back pain, diabetes, fever, gout, high blood pressure, liver disease, and toothaches. Breadfruit latex is taken by mouth for diarrhea and stomach pain. All right, and that is 500 points for the correct answer. So let's see who first came in with the correct response. Truck Life.
Much?
500.
What?
Then Monica, J. Lewis, Brittany.
Mash up the place.
And that's how the answers came in. So Truck Life, choose the next category, and for how many points? Okay, games for 500 is rolling big tonight. A children's game where one person or team chases other players in an attempt to tag them. The tagged players remain stuck in one place. So a children's game where one person or team chases other players in an attempt to tag them. The tagged players remain stuck in place. Yeah. Distraction, no.
Just distraction.
Nice. All right, I see the answer that I am looking for. Early blessed welcome. It is, what is Tucky? That is for 500 points. So let's see who came in first with those, who got those 500 points. Okay. That is freestyle. Natalia, welcome. Happy Friday. All right. So first on the board with the correct response is 876 by birth. So write 876.
876?
Mm-hmm. Then Truck Life, Brittany.
Okay. Much points for
So it's on
876?
run.
Much points for 876?
500.
What? 876 bad, so?
All right. 876. Choose the next category and for how many points?
500?
Yes. Games for 400. Okay. A football move where one player passes the ball between the legs of an opposing player. A football move where one player passes the ball between the legs of an opposing player. All right. You know them football, man. All right, I see the answer that I'm looking for, and it is what is a salad or salad a cake? So salad or salad a cake, whichever you put, it's correct. All right, and that is for 400 points. So let's see who picked up those 400 points. Where's Ricardo? He was here earlier and I tell me some ask them. I'm gonna leave him. Truck Life, 400 points. No, yep. Yep, it's Truck Life, 400 points. Then 876, Don Mel, Early Bless. And you have to, that's not what, it's what is. You have to type out the is because everybody else have to do that. J. Louis also got it, but didn't put what is. You got it. Jacqueline, welcome. Salad also, and Maxine also got that. And Truck Life is saying fruits for 400.
Okay, so the score as it is 876 and 500 points. Truck Life, 1,000 points.
Okay, oh, sorry guys, I'm tired. Fruitful. You mean I go turn on the stove for banana? Okay, yes, Truck Life is on a roll. And fruits for 400. Foul smelling and bitter tasting fruit that commonly grows on small trees close to the sea, also known as duppy soursop, and it's a double point answer. So foul smelling and bitter tasting fruit that commonly grows on small trees close to the sea, also known as duppy soursop. Why does it keep sliding? Yeah. Baron, carry him come. You say if you let you carry him come. If you let you carry him come. That's going to behave. All right, so I see the answer that I am looking for, and it is what is noni, and that is for 400 points. And fun fact, noni or Morinda citrifolia is an evergreen tree with large leaves and yellow fruit. It's found in the Pacific Islands, Southeast Asia, Australia, and India. Noni roots, stem, bark, leaves, flowers, and fruit have all been used as medicine. The fruit juice in particular is very high in potassium. It also contains vitamin C, vitamin A, and many other chemicals that might help repair damaged cells in the body and activate the immune system. People use known for cancer, high blood pressure, athletic performance, aging skin, diabetes, and many other conditions. But there is no good scientific evidence to support these uses. All right, let's see who picked up those points. And my mother used it for her because she has rheumatoid arthritis, and she was getting those disfigured looking jointed fingers, and she drank it for a while, and her fingers are looking quite normal. Before they started getting those jointed things, it disappeared. So sometimes might not be able to prove it scientifically, but some of these things work. All right, so let's see who picked up those, what is it, 400 points. Truck Life, then Dunmill, Mr. Dave, okay, no, Maxine, Betty Boop, welcome, and J. Lewis, what is Noni? All right, so 400 points to Truck Life. Let me just add it. All right, so Truck Life, choose the next. Oh, yep, 800, sorry. Thanks for the reminder, 800. 1,800. All right. So it's doubled Truck Life. So choose the next category and for how many points. Jamaican places for 100. This popular place houses our main bus terminus. This popular place houses our main bus terminus. Everybody run out. Hey, welcome, welcome, David. Happy Friday.
Oh, you lean up, the score them, so.
I mean, I'm lean up the score them, so. The score them look lean to you? I just lean. Straighten up your glasses, you might see it straight. All right, I see the answer that I am looking for, and it is, what is halfway tree? So bus terminus is already there, so you don't have to have it, just halfway tree, and that is for 100 points. So let's see who picked up those 100 points.
Well, so Truck Life about the place. Truck Life about the place, one.
David.
Well, David upon the board now.
Him just running and just jump up on the board.
You know, so David that much points?
100. Him just run and just show himself on it like putty. Then Truck Life, make sure me now. Okay, then Truck Life, Dunmill, Andrew, Tiffany, Maxine, so everybody run out. Everybody run out. Oh, hope work is not too busy, Tiffany. All right, so places for 200 is continuing with places. This popular Jamaican tourist location attracts over 100 tourists each year. It is approximately 180 foot high and 180 feet high and 600 feet long. Located in the Garden Parish, you are missing out if you haven't been here. Name the attraction. So it's located in the Garden Parish. The Garden Parish. So that is a clue. And it's approximately 180 feet high and 600 feet long. Name the attraction. Attracts over 100 tourists. I think it should be over 100,000 tourists each year or more. All right, let's see. I see the answer that I am looking for, and it is what is Dunn's River.
Mm-hmm.
All right. So that is for 200 points. Oh my God, I had a brain freeze just now. That is for 200 points. All right, let's see who came in with the correct response, who first, because everybody ran out. All right. Truck Life.
How many points?
Hmm?
How many points? Truck Life.
200. I sent. Remember my credit. Well done. Then make sure the correct spelling. Remember, guys, spelling counts. J. Lewis, 876. David, Monica, Maxine. Yeah. Yeah. And he's saying places for 500. All right, let's continue with places for 500. This historic Jamaican site was built in 1880, used to store weapons and gunpowder in its former days of glory, but became quite the attraction after a massive earthquake in 1907. And it's a double score. So whoever gets it correct will have 500 points added to their score, and then the overall score is going to be doubled. So this historic Jamaican site was built in 1880, used to store weapons and gunpowder in its former days of glory, but became quite the attraction after a massive earthquake. No, I have to go the other way. I think. I mark them off on it. Monica.
We go down in bread, you know.
And the bread almost finished by now.
That's right.
Okay.
Yeah, just easy.
All right. All right, I see the answer that I'm looking for, and it is what is Giddy House. And that is for 500 points, and overall score is going to be doubled. So let's see who first came in with the correct response. Truck Life. So 500 and then double its score. Then
500?
Yeah.
Whoa.
They got the place, but not the attraction itself. Monica, Maxine also got it. Don Mail in a sense, but he put the other word instead of.
So the score as it is, David on 100 points, 876 on 500 points, and Truck Life 5,000 points. Whoa.
And Truck Life is continuing with places. Oops, sorry, Truck Life. I meant to click 4, but okay, so we're doing 3. This parish is located on the northeastern section of the island, commonly thought to be the most beautiful parish and home to a popular jerk center. So this parish is located on the northeastern section of the island, commonly thought to be the most beautiful parish and home to a popular jerk center. All right. Let me just go back up. I sent, do I still owe you a credit? I think I had gotten the number and I sent it to you. Not sure what you mean by that if you're saying that. I still owe you one. I know I was asking you for a number for some time. I think you did send it to me and I did send. So I'm not sure. 400. Yeah, I ticked it off. I did send it because once I send, I asterisk it before if I'm not getting it, and then once I get it and send it, I tick. And it's asterisk and then tick. That means I did it. So whoever the recipient is, you can check with them. And I didn't even write the date when that game was played. All right, let's see. All right, so we are doing places for 300. Okay, Jamaican places for 300. All right, let's see. Sorry, got a bit sidetracked there. Okay, and I see the answer that I'm looking for, and it is what is Portland. So Portland is considered to be the most beautiful parish, and that is for 300.
So we'll get us.
Let me just go and see.
So Portland is where the boat land, right?
Mm-hmm. And boat the land, boat dock.
Boat
Boat dock, boat no land. Plain land, boat dock. So truck life on a roll. Then David 876, Don Mel.
How much points for truck life for that?
400. Monica, Don, Patrick's free welcome. You have to put what is. Okay, let's correct. Maxine, Portland. So most people run out and got Portland. Lewis, Portland. So it's saying places now for 400. This Jamaican parish is located on the northwestern section of the island and is home to dolphins. This Jamaican parish is located on the northwestern section of the island and is home to dolphins. Name the parish. I said, come down. Don't peck me. Come down. Stay down there, sir. All right. Let's see. All right, I see the answer that I am looking for, and it is what is Hanover, and that is for 400 points. Let's see who came in with the 400 points. could not be 400 because it's still on board. What does he mean by that? The truck life, it's 300. No, it was 300. He said 400. I mean, so the 400 is now just on board. It's 300 points. Sorry. Yes, said 400. That's why I must have told you 400. Initially it said 400 and accidentally clicked 3. So now we're at the 400.
Okay.
All right. So let me see. Dunmill, 400 points. Dunmill, 400 points. Then David, and that's how the answers came in.
So the score as it is, David on 100 points, 876, 500 points, Daniel on 400 points, Short Life, 5,300 points.
Okay. Oh, Elga is saying the correct name for Noni is Mulberry. Oh, really? I have to look into that. I know I've heard the name Mulberry Bush before. All right, so Donmel is saying no Jamaica for 300. This parish named after Anne Hyde, wife of James II, King of England, and is recognized as the largest of all the parishes. It is known as the Garden Parish for its bauxite, agriculture, and livestock production, and perhaps most notably its tourist attractions. Name the parish. So this parish, and it's a 300 point, named after Anne Hyde, wife of James II, King of England, and is recognized as the largest of all the parishes. It is also known as the Garden Parish for its bauxite, agriculture, and livestock production, and perhaps most notably its tourist attractions. And that is for 300 points. Oops, that is for 300 points. All right, I see the answer I'm looking for. No delays. And what is Saint Anne? So Saint Anne is the correct answer. So let's see who first came in with Saint Anne. Let me just refresh. Okay, so that's where that one starts. So David for 300 points, then Shortcliff, Donmel, Tiffany, Monica, 876, J. Lewis, Maxine, no, and that's how the answers came in, and he's saying for 200, no
Okay,
Jamaica.
so the score as it is, Donmel and David on 400 points, 876, 500 points, Truck Life, 5,300.
All right, so 200 points. A carved wooden top with a name. Oh, Jesus, I clicked the wrong thing. Sorry, it was no Jamaica I wanted for 200, but I clicked games for 200. A carved wooden top with a nail for a tip. It is played by tightly coiling a string around it, then releasing in a sharp whip. Everybody jump out. A carved wooden top, and it's Jamaican games with a nail for a tip. It is played by tightly coiling a string around it and then released in a sharp whip. That's not quite, no.
Another sound.
Not that sound.
You're saying corrupt? Unbelievable.
Can't believe you alone. All right, I see the answer that I am looking for, and it is what is a gig, and it's also known as a top. In other countries, they call it a top, TOP, but we're going with gig, and that is for 200 points. So,
another sound from Jesse. Oh, boy.
True. Right. First on the board with the correct response is David. And that is for let me click on 200
How many
points.
points for David?
200. Then Tiffany, Dunmel, Jill Lewis put up. Yeah. 876.
All right.
Gig, Maxine, Monica, Dawn. That's all the yeah, Gig is right. Yeah.
And there you go. As it relates to the score, Dunmel on 400 points, 876, 500 points, David 600 points, and Short Life 5,300 points.
All right. So it's going back to No Jamaica. Make sure I click on the correct thing. This is one of the oldest parishes in Jamaica. Was named in honor of Lady Elizabeth Modiford, wife of Sir Thomas Modiford, governor of Jamaica between 1664 and 1671. Named the parish. This is one of the oldest parishes in Jamaica. Was named in honor of Lady Elizabeth. Clue is there. Modiford, wife of Sir Thomas Modiford, governor of Jamaica between 1664 and 1671. Everybody run out.
Everybody run out.
Reggae girl, you are lagging. When you get here, you are lagging. All right, I see the answer that I'm looking for, and it is what is St. Elizabeth, and that is for 200 points. So let's see who first came in with the correct response, and it is David.
Enough points for David?
200. Then, okay, oops. That spelled just misspelling, but he did redeem himself and get back in line. Then 876, J. Lewis, Monica, Brittany, Dawn put in Western with St. Elizabeth, and Maxine. All right, so choose the next category and for how many points? Seriously? This will make you. Oh. All right, choose the next category and for how many points? All right, No Jamaica for 400. This parish was one of the second group of parishes formed in Jamaica and is said to have been named by Sir Thomas Modiford in about 1655 for the Duke of York, who later became James II and was the reigning monarch at the time. This parish was one of the second group of parishes formed in Jamaica and is said to have been named by Sir Thomas Modiford in about 1655 for the Duke of York, who later became James II and was the reigning monarch at the time. Name the parish. The clue is there. Name the parish. Bagga. Welcome, Bagga. We were wondering where you were. Bagga.
Bagga the boat. Bagga.
AKA Ricardo.
Yeah, I know.
All right, I see. I see the answer that I am looking for. So it is, what is St. James, who later became James II? That's a clue. So what is St. James? And it is for 400 points. So let's see who picked up those 400 points.
I understand this. But now you're soon. on Jesse.
Mm-hmm. Bagger, 400 points.
And David. Ricardo. So Ricardo, 400 points.
Mm-hmm. Then
I first saw Ricardo on the board.
Yeah, I'm just coming like something happened to him thinking because he was here before us, Ricardo.
Okay.
Then Monica, I'm not finished. Then David.
So the score as it is, Dunmel and Ricardo, 400 points. 876, 500 points. David, 800 points. And Truck Life, 5,300. Boy, it does look like Truck Life or relax. I don't watch them.
Okay. All right. So choose the next category for many points. AKA Ricardo, AKA Oreo Cheesecake, AKA Bagger.
Bro, dude.
That's how much Truck Life day. All right, no Jamaica for 100. Established in 1770, this parish was named after William Trelawney, former governor of Jamaica. That is for 100 points. Everybody run out. Established in 1770, this parish was named after William Trelawney, former governor of Jamaica. Everybody run out. Looking at me, it's past the bedtime. You're looking up at me. All right, I see the answer that I am looking for, and it is what is Trelawney, and that is for 100 points. So let's see who came in with the correct response. Spelling matters, people. Dunmel.
Much points for Dunmel?
100. Then Bagger. Andrew corrected his spelling. 876. Monica, Tiffany, J. Lois, Dawn, Maxine. Look here, I have to use my hand to come. All right, come. Here, yourself. Use this hand. Yeah. Welcome, Lloyd. Happy Friday.
Well going, Jesse.
Right, you got the scores done, Melson. Baron, don't make him pick me. All right, Don Mills says for 500, so he's closing off no Jamaica. Sweeping down from the serene heights of Blue Mountains to the pristine coastline of the southeast Jamaica lies the parish of. So sweeping down from the serene height of Blue Mountains to the pristine coastline of southeast Jamaica lies the parish of. Name the parish, and that is for 500 points. Name the parish. Name the parish. All right, I see the answer that I'm looking for, and it is what is St. Thomas. So St. Thomas is that parish, and it's for 500 points. So let's see who picked up those 500 points. Who else is going to get on the board? All right, so it starts there. Bagger. 500 points. Then
Bagger, 500 points?
Yes, then Monica, 876. That's how the answers came in. Baga. All right, so it's saying games for 300. A game played with rubber bands where the objective is to capture as many of the opponent's rubber band as possible. Name the Jamaican kids game. A game played with rubber bands where the objective is to capture as many of the opponent's rubber bands as possible. Name the game. Mm-hmm. You use rubber band where the objective is to capture as many of the opponent's rubber band as possible. Go back to kids' day. Remember what you used to call it. You throw it on the wall, you bounce it off, hoping that it overlap one of your opponents or several of your opponents' elastics. Then you just take up all of them. Oh my goodness. Clue. What is the other name for rubber band? What is the other name we call it? Rubber band in Jamaica. Okay. There. Okay. Goodness. All right. I see the answer that I am looking for. So, as kids, we call the game Lastic or Elastic. Come back, we go play Elastic. You don't remember that? That is for 300 points. So, let's see who first came in with the correct response. Just say I need to use my hand. No bother with it. Wait. All right, I see the answer that I'm looking for. And Baga for 300 points. Elastic.
Baga for 300 points.
And then we have J. Lewis with Elastic, Tiffany Elastic, and everybody started getting it again.
Okay, so
the exact name for the game 876 Tiffany.
All right.
Maxine. Yeah.
So the score, Don Mel on 400 points, 876, 500 points. David, 800 points. Ricardo, 1,200 points. And Truck Life, 5,300 points.
But when you used to play that game, only used to call it.
That's fun.
Go play Elastic or go play Elastic. That's what we used to say. We are kids from the 70s. All right, choose the next category and for how many points? Gotcha. Okay. No, but you got to them something I know.
Paso.
Games for 100. A fast-paced game where two throwers stand some distance apart from each other and attempt to hit one or more persons in the middle, dodging the ball. A fast-paced game where two throwers stand some distance apart from each other and attempt to hit one or more persons in the middle, dodging the ball.
For sure that.
All right, so name the game.
For sure that.
I don't need any more. I don't need any more, sorry. All right, I see the answer that I am looking for, and it is what is dandy shandy, and it can also be called sighting. But dandy shandy is what I'm looking for. So let's see who first came in with the correct response. So first on the board with the correct response is David for 100 points. Then Dunmel 876, J. Lewis, Reggae Girl, oh, if she finally caught up. Bagga sighting, yeah. And Dandy Shandy. So everybody ran out with Dandy Shandy and sighting. All right, so that was for 100 points, and it's David. All right, so he wants fruits for 300. Wait. Pear-shaped fruit with red skin and white flesh. Typically, they contain a single large seed. Pear-shaped fruit with red skin and white flesh. Typically, they contain a single large seed, and that is for 300 points. So 300 points. Jesus, why did I do that? All right, I see the answer that I'm looking for, and it is what is Otaiti apple. And benefits: improve circulation, helps to regulate blood pressure, hair growth, improve skin health, build stronger cells, bones, blood vessels, cartilage, muscles, and teeth, prevents inflammation, example in dysentery, which is colon inflammation. It boosts energy, improves nervous, cardiovascular, and digestive system, may assist with diabetes, which is blood sugar regulation, and it aids in weight loss, and that is for 300 points. So let's see who picked up those 300 points. Kate started there. 876, 300 points. Let's double check the spelling because I don't want anybody shouting at me in any tone of words. Wait. Then Andrew, Jesse. All right, so 300 points, 876. So 876 shows the next category and for how many points come. Then who else? Andrew, Monica, J. Lewis. Oh, it's Dunmel is scoring his score. Dunmel's score is not correct. Okay, hold on. Let me go up. Please check my score. Dunmel. 4 and 2, 6 and 2, 8 and 1, 9. Oh, it's the wrong. Who just got the answer? Baron. How much is supposed to be a score, Dunmel? Because Baron is the one keeping score. So what is supposed to be a score? And who else is keeping score? You got more correct. Dunmel, you got more than one correct. You got a 400 and there's a 100 points, so you have 500 points on the board. Is it more than 500? So there's a 400 points that you got, and then a 100, and that is added up to 500. That's what Baron have there. Yeah, you got 2 correct. Okay, that sounds correct now. Okay. All right. So 8760 fruits for 200. Sorry, I didn't even release the board. Fruits for 200. A fruit with a star-shaped cross-section. As it ripens, it turns from green to yellow. A fruit with a star-shaped cross-section. As it ripens, it turns from green to yellow. So everybody run out on that one. Everybody run out on that one. Sit down, Nika. All right, I see the answer that I'm looking for, and it is what is star fruit, and that is for 200 points. So let's see who picked up those 200 points. So star fruit. Okay. All right, so first on the board with the correct response is Oreo cheesecake, aka Baga Baga Ricardo. And this is for, how many points was it again? 200 points. Ricardo, 200. Then Don Mel, Tiffany, J. Lewis, 876, David, Monica. So everybody basically got it correct. Maxine. Choose the next category, and for, well, it's one category left. Choose how many points. How many points, Ricardo? Antonyms for 300. So antonyms, so remember antonyms is opposite. Proud. Opposite of proud. Opposite of proud. All right, I see the answer that I'm looking for. No delays, and it's humble. When you're too proud, what they say you must do, humble yourself. The opposite of proud is humble, and that is for 300. 300 points. So let's see who first came in with the correct response. Right, it started there. Monica, humble, for 300 points. Then David and Maxine. So Monica, 300. So Monica chose how many points? How many points do you need off under antonyms? Do not go panic. No. $400. And this is a double point answer. So 800 points if you get this correct. To apprehend. 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 And that is for 800 points. Apprehend. 800 points. Okay, I see the answer that I am looking for. Let me just release it. And that is release. So apprehend means to take into custody and release, set free. All right, and that is for 800 points. So let's see who picked up those 800 points. David, Ricardo, spelling then Tiffany, Dunmel, discharge could also be it, but I was looking for release. And that is for 800 points to Ricardo. 200. All right. So he's saying 200. Get off there. 200. Farmer. What is the opposite of farmer? If it's not the farmer, it is the what? Where are you going? It's not for the farmer, it is the what? I see the answer that I'm looking for, and it is what is latter. So if it's not the former, it's the latter. And that is for 200 points. Let's see who picked up those 200 points. Monica, 200 points. So that's 500. Then, so Monica, that's how the answers came in. So Monica, how many points? Before Baron comes step in here. Okay, 500. Compulsory. If it's not compulsory, what is it? So opposite. If it's not compulsory, what is it? Come. If it is not compulsory, what is it? Remember, we're doing opposites. Okay. All right, I see the answer that I am looking for, and I'm looking for one word. Voluntary. Optional could be correct too, but I was looking for voluntary, and that is for 500 points. So let's see. Dunmel, 500 points. And then Maxine also got that for 500 points. So Dunmel, 500. 1,000. All right, and we only have 100 points left on the board. So I'm just going to expose that giant opposite of June. Let me see your foot in a step in there. Fly off and go poop there, so see it right there, so you're not step in there. So opposite of giant. Because I'm doing this. I wonder if I just embellish you. All right, I see the answer that I'm looking for, and it is what is dwarf, and that is for 100 points. So let's see who picked up those 100 points. If you ever make him pick me, pick him, just not me. All right, so Monica, 100 points.
Monica, 100 points.
Then 876. Remember spell it. Then Monica. Then 876. That's The answers came in. All right. And that's the end of Jeopardy! Congratulations to all the winners. Congratulations to everyone who participated and was able to answer. So the game is not for the swift, but for those who can endure to the end. And it's a matter of fast internet and Olympic fingers. All right. Okay. Good night, Mixin. Thank you so much for still being here.
Bless yourself, Mixin.
So I'm going to call him, but when I get doing a get together yet, Mixin, it's rough with work. I don't think we're going to be able to do any again this summer. Because summer almost finished. All right, so Baron is tallying the score and Ricardo is back in his natural clothing. Him out-time costumes, aka Baga Baga, aka
Yes, you make a mistake.
Cheese Oreo.
It's something wrong with you, man. Something wrong with you.
Because I'm tired. But the person get the score instead of the amount of score them get. But it's correct. It's just to put the addition. Just to add it.
All right. So here we are.
Yeah, Mixin.
Truck light 876 number 5 800 points. David 900 points and Dunmel 1,000 points and Truck Life 5,300 points. So we have Truck Life, Ricardo, David 876 and Dunmel as the winners tonight. Congratulations to all of you.
Congratulations.
All right.
Yes, Mixin. Anytime we're going to, but I don't think it's gonna be this summer again. Maybe Christmas. We'll let you guys know and you can come over. All right. So, Jane said, congrats, losers. I'm including that.
All right.
There's no losers here because the game is just for the swift. Everybody answered correctly, but it's the one that I see first, or most questions were answered correctly. Donathan, thanks again for another wonderful Friday evening. I hope that everyone will have a wonderful and safe weekend. Same to you all. Have a wonderful and safe weekend as well. And remember, guys, tomorrow Reason with Ratigan at 2 p.m. Then
yes. Reason. Remember, guys, please join in with Reason with Ratigan tomorrow, right? And then Sunday, Town Hall, right? There you go.
And Tuesday we are back. If I can cut videos and post the time out, it's really sometime don't have the time to sit down and cut up the videos just to see them so few and far apart, but I'm gonna try to see if I can do any this weekend. Mixing say answer correct. All right, guys. Baron, you hear about the oil? The discovery of the oil. We did cover
we covered it. Yeah.
But apparently they've discovered more.
No,
it's the same that the information just went out for some people late.
No, the information pertaining now to the government signing the contract, right? For
I wonder what they signed to.
Well,
how much of it we getting and how much of it is going in?
That is the last information pertaining to that.
Okay, David is 408 DG.
All right, David 408 DG.
Okay, and Shock Life is saying, so put Andrew name beside Shock Life. Shock Life is giving half of his to Andrew.
And Shock Life to Andrew.
/ Andrew. So I know that I must split it between both of them.
Andrew.
All right. And the spirit of giving and sharing is already.
Yeah, I love that.
Thank you so much. We do
good
that
comradeship.
From time to time.
That is good.
People share their credit with others. So since you need to do an investigation. And everybody's saying thanks for a wonderful show.
All right.
Okay, guys, thank you so much. Really appreciate
yeah.
each and every one. Keep the faith. I know these are trying times right now, and we have some distractions that has reared its ugly head, but just keep focused and remember the mission that we're on. Everything will iron itself out in due time, hopefully. But just keep focused. All right. So I am going to say
Guess what?
good night. Wait a minute. I'm gonna say good night and have a wonderful and blessed weekend, and
All right.
hope everyone will have a wonderful and productive week. And guys, remember all the other platforms that are also rooting for good governance and for a better Jamaica for one and all. Please go over and support all of those other channels as well. All right. So thank you so much, and safe travel on the gravel. Until next time, love you all.